We're up and live. Have you guys been to Hot Stove before? You haven't. We have yeses and nos. So for you nos, the restroom's through the glass door there. The 2 doors on your left, and there's a little frame as you go out. 6134 is the code to get in. And then you guys have had coffee. Beer's next.
Yeah, there's beer coming, so get ready for a boozy morning.
We have plenty of coffee, though, to chase the beer in case you want to go take a nap.
Going to be a few snacks today, I think. Muffin.
Yeah,
and
Becky's got some stuff from Japan. So we're glad you guys are here. And then, we're live. We're live on YouTube now? Yeah.
This
awesome.
camera, right? This one and this one on YouTube, so.
Okay, I tasted one of the snacks. Maybe
We might not be passing it out.
I bet some people like them.
Annie does. Annie likes the little French fry business that has chicken and shrimp in it.
Oh, interesting.
Bridget, are you going to audience motivate today?
I am.
Okay.
I am. It's
If you see Bridget clapping, please clap. Because otherwise we just
unless
clap for
we're like
ourselves.
super boring and then you guys
And
are
then
like,
you're all asleep.
Yeah.
And Bridget and I are going home.
No, we're good. We're good.
Did you tell them?
So Tom's out with
Tom is out sick today, which really never happens. It
No.
takes a lot for him to be out sick. So
we felled the big dog.
we're having a girl party.
Yeah.
And please be kind because I've never done this before.
Yeah, it'll be great.
I'm Loretta, by the way.
Loretta
Bridget.
Douglas, and I'm Bridget Charters.
And you've all interacted.
Chef
probably.
here, and I opened this place for Tom, with Tom, 10 years
10
ago.
years
It'll be
ago.
11 this
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
Crazy.
Just making sure YouTube's up. Sorry. Not YouTube TV.
I know it'll be fun. We've got, Tom's always mentioning Sean, Don't Call Me,
Del Torre.
and he's going to be on the show. I haven't seen Sean in ages.
I'm excited. His real name is D. Torre, not Del Torre, that Tom likes to razz him for.
It's like a bullfighter or something
Yeah.
like that, you know?
Almost ready.
Becky's getting loaded there. When did you get back, Becky?
Sunday.
Oh,
Sunday night.
very nice.
Oh, are you on a weird time?
17 hours difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's
but,
it feel?
You know, 17 hours is
It's
really
almost like
only.
the next day, right?
Yeah, it's the next day, and
You
really,
just ignore the date.
totally. And I just ignore the watch. You just get on the food schedule.
The food schedule.
That would be meals
Yeah.
and snacks.
The most important part of any day.
Okay, good. Show you. Oops. Think you could fix the YouTube problem?
What YouTube problem?
That just wasn't always working.
Oh.
The streaming. So,
Oh, so now it's up?
yeah.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. Great.
So we've got folks watching us, hopefully.
We do.
The one or two people that we love that tune in.
Well, there's people
On
that
the
tune,
live.
tune in right away, and then later in the day, the numbers really
Yeah.
bump up. And
All right, Nico, give us the high sign when you're ready. We're ready?
Are we ready?
Everybody ready?
Taylor's
Okay.
over there. Taylor's ready.
Woo.
Awesome.
All right. Welcome to the Hot Stove Society radio show on Cairo Radio. You are not hallucinating. This is not the voice of Tom Douglas. I'm Loretta Douglas.
And I'm Chef Bridget Charters. We're
And-
filling in for the big dog.
Yeah, he's unfortunately been felled by an illness this morning, and so we're just gonna have a little girl time here on the show today.
Girl party.
Instead, Becky's back from Japan. I'm back from Hawaii. Bridget, you back from anywhere?
No, I'm here.
No,
here at
Bridget's
Hot
been here.
Stove. Yeah. Going to Hawaii soon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's really needed in Seattle winter. I feel like you got a
It's been pretty
February.
gray here in the Northwest.
Yeah, we left and right in the middle of that snow and everything, and it was like, all right, see ya. Come
know.
back in a couple of weeks, and now it's 55, 60
Beautiful
degrees.
day today.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Perfect.
Awesome.
We are coming to you from the kitchen studios here at the beautiful Hotel Andra in downtown Seattle, right at 4th and Virginia, right above our restaurant Lola, across
Yeah.
from Sears
You can just
High.
walk right into the Hotel Andre. You'll see stairs to the mezzanine and just come on up. We got our little library there and Tom's collections.
Cookbook lending library. If you need some inspiration, take one, leave one. And yeah, come join us for breakfast during a live recording. You can purchase tickets at hotstovesociety.com or catch us on YouTube live or anytime by looking up Tom Douglas and Co.
Yep.
And you can see our lovely faces today. We don't have to look at Tom's ugly mug. Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna
Only
get
a daughter
fired.
can say that.
I'm gonna get fired.
We're going to take lots of digs today for sure.
He's not here to defend himself, so we're gonna do it. Bridget,
Yeah.
you have some really cool upcoming classes here at the Hot Stove Society.
Yeah, so if you haven't done it before, you can log on hotstovesociety.com. We've got all kinds of cool classes. We just loaded some the other day, and we've got I've got the paella party, which is a big popular one. We just did a seafood one, and then we've got a regular kind of chicken paella. If you don't know, Loretta, in Spain, Valencia, they protect paella, and they want you to do it their way, land
really?
or sea.
And what is their way?
Their way, either you're making a paella that's land-based or sea-based.
Oh, you don't
You
mix.
don't mix.
You don't mix.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
If you mix, then it's called an arroz. And from the other regions, technically, it's called an arroz. It's not called a paella.
Interesting.
So
It's like
usually-
champagne.
Yeah, exactly.
okay.
Right.
Yeah, or the Italian wines or cheeses. And so with paella, we use a nice Spanish rice. We use the delicious ingredients, and then we do a land-based one, which is with chicken. And we do it usually the traditional sofrito, that mix of onions, tomatoes, and peppers. And
All I
then-
care about are the little crispy chorizo bits that are in there.
I know. You
I
know,
just go-
technically in
Oh,
the
is that not
classic,
allowed?
no chorizo.
Oh, it's the best part.
Because they don't want to overpower the rice. But you know what? Because you're a Douglas, like the big dog Tom, you can fudge it a little bit.
Okay. I have
Same, garlic's another one.
generational nepotism permission.
Yeah, and the other thing that's interesting is garlic's not allowed. But here at the hot
Really?
stove, we add a little garlic with
Yeah.
our spices. It's
Yeah.
delicious. And then the other class we've got coming up is moussaka.
Well, that's something I don't even
love
I
moussaka.
don't think I've ever had it.
Really?
Annie and
Yeah.
I were in the office laughing the other day of like eggplant, and it's such a staple in the Mediterranean basin. You know, Northern Africa, Middle East, Spain, Greece, Italy. It's huge. And so moussaka is essentially a fancy lasagna from Greece.
Okay,
It's
with
so
potatoes
good.
though.
No. Different.
Okay, I need to
It
have
can
it.
be, yeah, it can be, but that's a different dish. So it's layers instead of pasta. It's layers
Layers of eggplant.
Eggplant.
eggplant, and we're gonna oven roast them in class. So it's all hands on, and you're gonna take moussaka, enough moussaka for 4 home if you come to
Oh, wow.
class.
Fun.
Yeah, so you're gonna build with me, and I'm gonna show you the components and show you a quick, easy way to cook eggplant that's not too oily.
I think I need to come to your class.
You should come.
Sounds like it,
That'd
yeah.
be great. And then we have, because I'll talk about variations like Loretta's Greek descent, the pasticcio, they're all very similar in technique. And it's that, I hate to use the word casserole, but my mom loves
It's essentially a hot dish.
So that's on March 28th.
Yeah,
And
it's
then it sounds like we have dumplings coming up, hand pies, St. Patrick's Day dinner, sushi. I want to take the sushi class.
Yeah,
With
Danae's
Rashida.
doing
Danae's
that.
doing it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, check them out, hotstovesociety.com. Come join us for a class. Come join us for a radio show. It's going to be awesome.
Totally.
Well, Loretta, I saw something. Congratulations to Team Half Shell.
I know.
They made the Seattle Eaters Best Seafood List. And
I'm very excited. Half Shell is so near and dear to me. It's probably the project I've been most involved in
I
opening.
know. You did a
And
great
so,
job on
thank
the
you.
interior.
Thank you. And so, yeah, we're so excited. It's been killing it. And yeah, best seafood, to make the best seafood list on Eater. It's wonderful.
honor. Yeah.
And amazing company. So yeah, it's been.
And
it's
it's
been really
the
fun.
nice thing about Half Shell.
I'm working there after the show today.
Okay,
You're
great.
what?
I'm working a shift there after the show today.
Oh, very good. Yeah. What's fun about that is that you can just duck in and sit at the counter there.
Yeah. A
Don't need
beautiful bar. You can check out the oyster shells that my father and I hand glued one by one with a hot glue gun onto the bar.
Fun
top.
project.
So that was good. Bonding.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it's really fun. It's beautiful. Great, like right
Prices
at the corner
are
of the
great.
market.
Yeah.
$2 oyster happy hour, 3 to 6. So it's fun. My favorite thing in the happy hour, everybody comes for the $2 oysters, but
Right.
the little shrimp slider that we do, and then sometimes we do
Oh, I
a
haven't had
different
that.
like specialty slider. Right now, I think there's like a fried oyster, little. They're so good. The shrimp nuggets. If you haven't had the shrimp nuggets,
Shrimp nuggets. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I got to get back down there.
they're ginger scallion-y. They're delicious. So there's
Very
my-
cool.
My hot tip.
Love it.
Okay, on today's show, Becky, you are back from Japan.
Yes.
And you're going to share
I'm excited.
your impressions
Yeah.
and maybe some weird snacks.
Some weird snacks.
Perfect.
Yes.
Was that your first time?
I was
Pretty
there
much.
25 years ago, but yeah.
Got it.
Ostensibly,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
new life.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. We are going to talk craft beer with Brad Benson from Stoop Brewing, who is here. Super excited to be drinking at 9 a.m. That's a good way to start the day. Scott Corey and Sasha Tinsley from Parasol West in Normandy Park are going to share their take on Western European and Mediterranean flavors. Bridget and I are going to build some charcuterie and cheese boards for easy entertaining. I have a formula, so I'm really curious to hear
Oh, good to
what
know.
yours is. So
Yeah.
we're going to dive into natural and organic wines with Todd Elkema from Elliott Bay Wine Distributing.
Yep. This is near and dear to my heart.
Yes. Can't wait. And our talented editor from Cairo Radio, Sean DeTore, is stopping by in studio, which we never get to see him, and apparently bringing homemade muffins. So
Yes,
I
I'm
can't
so
wait.
excited.
And we'll finish up with some trivia. And Tom's not here, so
Tom's not here. Woo. Are the questions going to be hard?
do I get Tom's question?
Yes, you do.
Oh man, that's not
Tom's
fair.
got
I might have taken that into account, though.
Okay.
We'll see.
Phew. And yeah, it's going to be an awesome show. Thanks for bearing with us as we go on without Tom today. It's
I
gonna be
know.
good.
So Tom's favorite segment is Taste of the Week.
Yeah, what's
Loretta.
yours?
So I was just going to ask you because Tom
I
always
just ate
goes.
mine. Actually, I got
Oh.
here really early this morning, and I hadn't eaten yet. And I walked over to the bakery, and I'm never at Dahlia Bakery in time for our croissants in the morning. They're always
'Cause they
sold
sell
out by
out.
the time I get to work, because I'm more of like a 9:30 work day start after I drop my kid at school.
Uh-huh.
So when I was here at 8 o'clock this morning, they
Nice.
still had one remaining almond croissant. And I think that we make the best almond croissants that I've ever had. They're so good. Molly is incredible with laminated dough, and that almond croissant is just killer. So
And what makes it so amazing?
it's not.
Now, does she do the twice cooked one with
It looks like it. Because it looks
Where
a
it's
bit
cut
dark.
open
Yeah,
and-
it's cut and filled. Well, it's a different shape though, so she might actually only be doing it once. I don't know if she's just folding over and filling and then baking, but one of the things I love that they do is they actually take our croissants, any of them, pretty dark, and I like that.
Me
I don't
too.
like an underbaked pale croissant. So it's
Oh,
nice
so
and
Tom
dark.
got under your skin.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's nice and dark. It's not super sweet. You know, sometimes that almond paste that they put in the middle is
Too intense.
So
Yeah.
sweet. And it's the other thing is it's not enormous. And I
Oh.
also sometimes think like those almond croissants get to be the size of your head. And this is the size almond croissant that you should be eating. It's plenty. By the time you're done,
Right.
you're like satiated, but it feels like a treat. They're really delicious.
Awesome. Awesome. So last week I pissed Tom off with my taste of the week, which included asparagus. But since Tom's not here, I'm going to do asparagus again.
Again.
Tom's like, the vegetables. But like I saw these beautiful regular size asparagus. Again, they're coming out of California, but they're just filling the market and the prices are starting to drop. And they have Meyer lemons for really inexpensive right now.
When you say regular, do you mean because there's the big ones, the
They're the
thin ones?
skinny, super skinny ones, which technically
Super skinny is regular to you.
No, those are kind of what the Italians call the wild. And you see, literally, I've
Wild
seen
asparagus,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, you see Italians are out in the field. So the asparagus plants at the beginning of the season will shoot up these super skinny little shoots. They're teeny. They're the size of a pencil. And Tom's like, I don't like those. But they're so delicious and the flavor's just super strong. And those are great to just quick
Yeah.
toss in the oven and literally roast at 400 for like 2 minutes. You
Yeah, it
know?
takes no
super
time.
delicious. Yeah, but they have the regular, which are called standard, and they're
Right.
like the size of your pinky or your index finger. And those I did it Tom's way, which you just trim a little bit off the bottom, and then you just peel the ends, peel that hard stuff. And what you can do is just be careful cutting through so you get through.
Yeah, you'll get a whole lecture from him about not
Oh.
cutting.
Wasting.
Don't snap it at where it breaks. It's not a real thing. Trim the very end
Mm-hmm.
off and use a peeler to take the woody outside off the ends and don't waste all of that.
Especially
Yeah.
on the big ones.
Yeah, and so then what you do is just toss that with olive oil, and I wrap a bundle of about 8 in prosciutto.
Oh, yeah.
But I put olive oil and Parmesan inside before I wrap it, and then I roast those in the oven at
Do
400
you
degrees.
cover the whole length of the spear
No,
or
just the middle part.
Okay.
Yeah, and and then the prosciutto gets nice and crispy. So we had that for dinner with little lamb chops. So good.
Oh,
Sounds
I'm
wonderful.
coming to your house. This sounds better than the Costco frozen orange chicken I made.
Oh, no, don't admit it. Don't admit it, Loretta.
Hey, you know, there's 3
It's
kids
true.
to feed.
You have 3 kids.
Yeah.
You get a
This
hall
happens.
pass.
All right. Up next, Becky's going to do a whole segment on her Japanese culinary adventures when
Yeah.
we're back. We're going to plow through without Tom, and it's going to be awesome. Thanks for listening. It's the Hot Stove Radio Show on Cairo 97.3 FM.
Hey,
Hey,
how you doing?
I'm good.
Nice to meet you.
You too, in person. We talk on the phone, so it's so fun to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
Loretta.
Nice to see
How
you.
you doing?
So fun. This is Sean Torrey. He's on the editing.
It's nice to see you.
Do you want to see? You know you can.
Yeah, I Nothing on. I love hearing. All of you. Yeah. Anyway.
I like that when I tune in on the radio on the weekends, I don't sound as horrible as I do in my head. You know when you hear your voice like in a voicemail or something
Yeah.
and you're like, I can't actually sound like that.
Yeah.
Somehow with this, it doesn't feel quite like that. So
I figured maybe you're
really? I think I sound like a baby on voicemail, but my voice doesn't sound that high pitched when I hear it on the radio. Yeah.
yeah.
People are listening, right?
Yeah, no, you sound great on the radio.
No.
I
Good
cut
to
out.
see you,
I
Sean.
cut out some ums, which saves a lot of
A lot. I know.
He
So
cuts
bad.
out what?
My ums, the amount of
Oh,
ums
oh.
that I say.
We have 10 minutes with Becky. Oh, look at those muffins.
Do you think I need to say like each segment?
Sounds just
Yeah. Okay. My voice sounds a little different today.
Tom.
Yeah. Yeah. Constantly.
Yeah. Yeah, who's going to be the cantankerous one on this? Me. I'm next up.
Okay, here's the chocolate mochi.
Oh, exciting.
The other bits. If you want to just do this now, so you don't have to.
Look at how freaking cute it is. Look at that perfect little.
Just so you don't have to. And you can open that
Okay.
for sure, but just do it done for you now.
Oh, thank you. The fries, the fishy fries.
Yeah.
Oh, they look like
Ooh.
no.
This is like full popcorn. Like kettle corn.
But it's cornier. Like, I just love all the little
They're amazing.
perfect
Yeah.
packaging. Oh my God, look how beautiful that is.
Oh.
Okay.
These are so beautiful.
Aren't they? Yeah, I just took a taste of that. That I liked.
It's good.
Beautiful. It's so soft. Wow. That was good.
All right.
We're back.
All right.
We ready?
Ready.
Okay, we're
All
back.
right. We are back at the Hot Stove Radio Show. Becky, our wonderful producer, is fresh off the plane from a trip to Japan.
Yes.
And you're first in, you said 25 years or so.
Yes.
So almost brand new.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you haven't been somewhere in that long, it's all fresh again.
And
Yeah.
you did Tokyo, you did other places. Where
Yeah,
did you go?
We went on a ski trip with some friends, and we started in Tokyo for 4 nights, which was super fun. And then the whole food scene up skiing is really cool
Oh,
too.
interesting.
So that's,
Okay.
that's the stuff
Oh.
I want to talk about. It's
Yeah.
they're very different prices in the city versus prices in the small mountain towns. A fraction
Very
of-
different.
Very
Oh,
different.
Really?
Yeah. Skiing is pretty inexpensive there, maybe a quarter of what we pay for lift tickets here. And I learned that was just because a big boom happened back in the 80s and they overbuilt.
Huh.
So there's there's tons of ski resorts, really fun, lots of snow.
And like $50?
Yeah, or less.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
That's
was
awesome.
it good skiing?
It was great skiing.
Oh,
great
cool.
skiing, and again, the food culture there was great. So I'll start off by,
Yeah.
first of all, Google Translator or any translator on your phone is life-changing for travel. You know, you can communicate
it's
with
amazing.
people. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's
The-
amazing.
The first night we got there, we were tired, got off the plane, went to the hotel, they spoke English, and then we were determined not to go to bed at 5 o'clock, but to walk around and find a sweet little spot, and we did. And we sat down, those little ikikaras, they're just little tiny bars, and they're so, it kind of feels like you're in a neighborhood, but no one spoke English there.
They're like little corner bars, kind of
Yes.
like tapas places, right? Where you
Exactly.
just duck in.
Yep, and there's
Fun.
the chef is right there in front of you, and we sit down and there's this really cute older Japanese couple. They're smiling and we're all kind of smiling at each other because we couldn't do anything. And then the server takes his phone and shows us they'd like to buy you your first round of drinks.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
so nice. And
That
you
is
can,
so
with
nice.
this translator, you can communicate. So they did. That was really nice. And then a woman came in shortly thereafter. I thought it was their daughter. I'm glad I didn't say that. And I said, she spoke a little bit of English. And she said, no, they met their friends. They meet about once a month. They met about 5 years ago at one of these little bars before. So every once in a while they get together and it's just super
That is
sweet.
very, very sweet.
And then we later learned that the older couple's daughter is a social worker here in Seattle.
Really?
Yeah. And we never would have been able to communicate had
Yeah.
we not had the Google Translator.
I remember, so I went to Tokyo 20 years ago, when I was a teenager. And I think it was the first place I really traveled where when we got off the plane and we got on the train, I was like, how are we going to figure out where we're going? I mean, and at that time,
There wasn't
that was
Google
pre-iPhone.
Translate.
There
Yeah.
wasn't Google Translate. It was really like, okay, how are we going to figure out what that sign says, and how do we know where to get off and things like that? And I've heard a lot of the signage is now in both English and Japanese and things like that. But when I went, 20 years ago, it was a real adventure to try and navigate
Who were you with
your way
then?
around. My folks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Definitely the translators have changed. And even talking to anybody at a restaurant, I would just talk quietly into my phone. They'd talk quietly back in, and it just translates.
And then
We
you
could
just show the
communicate.
phone?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, and
that's
the
awesome.
thing you showed me where you use your camera to like look at the text on a box or something. And
Oh,
it
I was doing that
automatically
and doing it for
translates.
signs.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
yes,
awesome.
even the
What's on
menus,
it.
because nothing was in English where we were in the small towns, and you just take your phone and you can see all the ingredients, and especially if you have an allergy or something.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these snacks, it looks like it might be corn, but actually there's chicken and shrimp in there too. So
Right.
you just, it's a really fun way. And speaking of snacks, they are big into making their snacks really pretty and packaged nicely.
Oh, the packaging culture in
Yes.
Japan is unbelievable. It's
And
so beautiful. I
From
mean,
the-
even
yeah,
their
like the
little
markets I hear.
lunches that you're
Yeah.
just picking up to go to eat back at your desk or so. I mean, everything is so. The attention to detail, I think, is just incredible.
Absolutely. The one thing that's changed, or I thought was really interesting where we're going here, is the kiosks. Tons of kiosks for ordering food. And at first I was a little skeptical, and I had to use my translator when you're ordering, and we're at the ski lodge, and you get these beautiful ramens. You order it, there's one person that takes your ticket then you get a little buzzer, and then there's another person that does drinks. And it comes out so efficiently. So there's really only people in the kitchen, 2 people up front, and they're serving hundreds of people.
So you stand in line,
Mm-hmm.
you go up to the kiosk, you hit the screen and order off of the menu.
Yep.
And then you go stand
You
at
take
the
your ticket.
counter.
Yep.
And then they start filling the order.
And
I
it's
really remember like the vending machine culture.
Oh.
Is that still going
Did you
strong?
do that?
huge. Yes. I didn't
Okay.
do the sushi. That just kind of turned me
Scary.
off. But it was like, $20 for a nice thing of sushi out of a vending machine. I didn't do it. But I did do hot coffee. There's
Yeah.
a hot coffee that comes, or it was tea. So nice on the hands when your hands are freezing. And that same machine will do iced tea.
Yeah.
So it's just,
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
It's really cool.
The technology is
The
pretty
technology.
cool.
It's just also, I think, different cultural approach to food in that way, and to put real food in vending machines and accessible in that way, where I feel like we only put chips
Junk.
and
Yeah.
candy and things like that. So
Yep.
I like that they're giving people that quick option that's also real food.
And where did you stay when you were in Tokyo? Because I've heard the crowds just as like it's kind of overwhelming how many
only
people
during
are
rush
there.
hour when we were on the subway, so we just kind of avoided that. But we walked a lot, and we got up. Greatest thing we did a tour through the market, the Toyosu.
The seafood market?
Yep, and then we went to the Tsukiji market as well. So we watched the big auction for the ahi tuna.
The tuna, it's incredible,
And
right?
those tuna, it was fascinating. And we
I mean,
learned-
the tuna is the size of this table.
Oh, there are your photos. Look
yeah,
at that.
We've got some photos coming up. But the tuna auction was fascinating. Tuna comes in from all over the world. It's the largest tuna market. And we watch it. They take cores out of the tail. And then, so you can, I mean, we could just watch from above. These are professionals that have had years and years of experience.
Right,
And the
right.
tuna was selling anywhere from a few $1,000s to one record one a couple years ago was $3 million. So it's kind of, it's a cool scene to watch.
And
it's
I
so
hear
quiet.
it like goes super fast. They're
Super
like,
fast, from
da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
5:30 to
Yeah.
6:30, and it's done in the morning. All of that tuna's been sold. You can see on that picture back there. But it's fascinating, and watching these artisans.
Well, and
carve
all the
tuna.
chefs from the restaurants come to the market
Yeah.
at that time in the morning. They pick their tuna for, the week maybe, and then
Every morning.
take it back.
Every
Yeah.
morning. So that was a really fun thing to do in
That's
Tokyo.
crazy.
Another thing I did is Bruce Miyahara, our friend, told me about Kappabashi. It's a area, or another word to say is kitchen town. And so knife shop.
Oh, no way.
And
Did you bring back some goods? Oh, you did.
Well, I
Some
did
good
buy
Japanese
my
steel?
favorite knife now. I mean, I've just used it for this week for vegetables. I think it's called, what is that called, Bridget? That kind of, it's got the blunt, it's a Usuba.
Oh, I don't know. We'd have to
Anyway,
ask.
you have to try this later.
Annie, yeah.
It's fun.
And you
That's fun.
brought snacks. We
I
have
brought
snacks in front of us.
because the snacks are so pretty, and there were lines and lines of people for some of these snacks at the airport.
Interesting,
And
okay.
these are all local from. I was in Hokkaido, which is a big food area, under snow right now. But then I can't wait to see it in the summer sometime. All that you could just tell the way the snow was. Those are all rice paddies and
Oh,
terraces.
beautiful.
Tons of hoop houses. So it's a big. They've got fresh vegetables growing there now in the houses. So I've got this corn. It's like a. It looks like corn. You've tasted that one?
I've
Yeah.
tasted it. It's like
that's the French fry one or the little
puffed
mochi
corn.
one?
No, not the mochi one. This is a corn, and it actually
Yeah.
has.
It
some-
looks like popcorn.
Yes.
And it tastes like kettle corn.
But it's got some shrimp and chicken in it.
It's so
But
good.
it's delicious. It's cornier in a way. Like it has that almost spring corn flavor
Yes.
that actually comes through.
And this is Hokkaido corn, and we had a
Okay.
lot of it when we were there, and that they were
Really?
Hokkaido corn. And it is more corn, almost like a canned corn, like almost a little
yeah, that
little intense.
really condensed, concentrated
sweetness,
flavor.
yeah. It's
and then,
good.
Then this one
And then
is
these
just,
look like McDonald's French fries
they
that
do,
you just poured out.
but
They're
they're
perfect.
crunchy. And again, there's shrimp in there. And the only way I know that is because my phone,
Your
Google
phone told you there was
Translator.
shrimp.
Yep.
And
I
then
wonder
my,
if they have these at Wajimaya.
I'm going to go look now.
yeah.
'Cause
my
I-
favorite is this mochi.
Oh,
Partially because it comes in the most beautiful, individually wrapped little parcel.
going back to the attention to detail and the care.
Yeah, it's unreal.
It's really wonderful. So this one is just a chocolate. It's called Daifuku, and it's just a little chocolate mochi ball. And I'd never had it till this morning, and I think it's delicious.
It's super delicious. It has that cocoa powder on the outside, so it almost looks like a truffle, but then it's mochi and
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
delicious. Well, thank you.
Sure, the snack culture is big, so I had to bring back some snacks.
Yeah.
Thank
I love
you.
a snack. Thank you
Awesome.
so much.
Yep,
It was
fine.
awesome. When we come back, we are going to chat with Brad Benson of Stoop Brewing. You're
Love
listening
that.
to the Hot Stove Society
Yeah.
radio show on Cairo 93.73 FM.
So the other thing I had that I'm sorry I didn't bring you because they're so delicious, and I ate them all, were 2 boxes of chocolate-covered potato chips.
2 boxes. You ate 2 whole boxes. You didn't even save
In
one.
4
You're
days.
shaming her.
Oh man, they sound so good. Oh.
Over 4 days.
That's awesome. Those mochi were nice.
Yeah, I like the chocolate mochi.
Good. I like all the salty snacks.
Well, we hired a guy for the markets, and then we hired a guy for just to get familiar with the city. Yeah, good Washington.
All right. Okay, thank you. Brad? Come join us.
Okay.
I'm Loretta. Nice to meet you.
Just get. Okay.
How's it going? Okay.
Yeah, Tom always says this. Listen to me. Listen to me.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
There you go.
All right, got it.
Tom always says that. He's like, listen to me. Listen to me.
He has to have his
He
sexy
doesn't
NPR voice that he
doesn't
says.
say make love to the mic, but that's what jazz
That's
singers
what he's-
say. Oh, has he? Did you cure him, Becky? Been in 13. Is your location in Ballard your original?
Yes. And we refer to that one as the mothership.
What I love, and what we can talk about it, is when you guys took over the place up at the north end of the lake. Can't remember what it was called before.
It was
that
Seaplane.
Seaplane, which, what a cool idea. It was the folks from Bastille and Stoneburner.
Yeah, it used to be YMAC, and now it's Yes Parade. I think they just
and are
rebranded.
you guys still involved with them? They're doing the food side?
Yeah, it's actually a partnership between us and that restaurant group, which many people have tried to do since then, and liquor control has said no. And we did it during COVID, and whoever, just hope this isn't being aired right now, whoever our liquor control agent was, got fired for approving the thing,
Really?
the merger between a restaurant and a brewery.
Oh, I know who it is because I met him one day at Gracia.
Yeah, I know. With Rubens, I think I remember. Yeah, although there is legislation going in right now. Robin, who's my business partner, is the president of the Washington Brewers Guild, and legislation is to allow a restaurant group to run the restaurant aspect, and then a brewery to run the beverage thing. So that's kind of underway. I don't know how it would be separated because so much profit in beverage versus food a lot of times. It's kind of the formula, but. I know, right? So I don't know what type of agreement can happen between the two of them. They can share margins or something. I don't know.
Oh, they must. Yeah, just
Have to.
divvy it down the middle. You have to.
Yeah.
Is that what you guys do up north?
No, it's its own LLC, and we bought into it. So we sell them beer from a different company, and they serve that beer and other beers too. We bring in.
Yeah, it's a great because my mother was at a nursing home up there, and we were like, oh my God, it's a wasteland up here. It's like I can't keep going to Ranch for burgers, and then we started going.
Okay, we're a little bit
Okay.
behind. Sorry.
Are we
no,
behind? Okay.
Just a little bit. 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's my first day.
Come on, easy, Becky.
It was my fault. It took me a long time to get the snacks going.
Tom, are you listening? Look at Becky's being the hard ass. Okay.
All right, welcome
All right,
back
we're
to the
back.
Hot Stove Society radio show. We are joined right now by Brad Benson, who is the president and head brewer of Stoop Brewing, which I know from being neighbors with our Series Pie Ballard location.
Warehouse.
At the warehouse, yeah, right down the street. And I always see you guys, and I always stop by and pick up a 6-pack for my husband.
Well, and thank you guys for bringing some great pizza to the neighborhood.
Of
It's been
course,
awesome
yeah.
for the whole crew.
It's
Well, and it's amazing what happened with COVID and that whole neighborhood. Holy smokers.
Yeah, it was adapt or be crushed pretty much. So beer to go, having, we built a kiosk outside so there wasn't, contact and all that kind of stuff. It was challenging.
But it was also, I mean, a lot of those breweries had outdoor seating,
And they all have a lot more now.
and now everybody has a lot more. Yes,
What do they
it's
call it? The brewery
the
district?
brewery district.
Brewery
yeah,
district.
Ballard
Ballard
Brewery
Brewery
District.
District.
Yeah, because Rubens is there. You guys are there.
Urban
Obed.
Family and Great Notion are all that. Those are the ones that I know that are kind of like right in our little.
Yeah, Lucky Envelope is there. Wheelie Pop is there.
Wow.
There's
Oh, down further is the cider
Mm-hmm.
place.
Yeah, Yonder is in working together with Balebreaker, and they have a co-tap room where there's Yonder
And now we
cider
have
and-
the Spirits Distillery,
yeah, Wildwood. I think.
Wildwood,
Yeah.
which is John Howie's
Yep.
Spirits brand.
Yeah,
right
I
up the
feel
street,
like
too.
you guys were the first.
I think Rubens was the first, and then we
In
were
that
soon
neighborhood.
after, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, which is the industrial district of Ballard. It's right off of 15th, and it's at 52nd and 14th, just
14th,
one
yeah.
block in, and you can pretty much park your car and walk wherever and stop at the warehouse.
Grab a pizza,
time.
grab some beers.
Yep. He walked between, I think it's 9 or 10 breweries right now in the neighborhood.
That's
so.
exciting.
Does it feel good that it's grown so much around you guys? I mean, having been one of the first there, how does it?
Yeah, I think we always had the mentality of, rising tides float all boats kind
Mm-hmm.
of scenario. I think it gets a little more tough in, dry January and February when there's less people going
It's
out in the
quiet.
weather, and we have all this outdoor space, but no one wants to go sit outside right now.
No.
So we do have this big swing,
Yeah,
and it gets a little
seasonal.
tougher in the winter.
Pretty
but then-
much this afternoon.
Yes, well, the sun came out today, right? So
Yeah.
we're going to be okay, we hope.
Yeah. So, Brad, how did you get into this industry? And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, deep breath by Brad.
No, well, I got a degree in chemistry from Gonzaga, and so just the whole
Go Zags.
Go Zags, go Bulldogs. Sorry, I had to say that. So really, the whole scientific approach to making beer made a lot of sense to me. Enzymatic reactions and thermal breakdown of things and all this kind of stuff. So I was a home brewer for a long time, and my wife was girlfriend at the time was in the wine industry. We moved to the East Coast. I had some home brewing accidents in a 5th floor walk up, and she kicked me out to go work for free at a little opening brewery in Hoboken, New Jersey. And that's just kind of everything snowballed from there.
Awesome. And how'd you end up back in the Northwest?
This is home.
Oh, nice.
So we did 6 years on the East Coast.
West is best, man.
West is best. Yeah. So we finally came back and set up shop here.
And so you've got, what I was excited about is you've got 2 female partners. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So Laura, who is my wife and business partner, and then Robin Schumacher, who's our 3rd partner. So they came up with the tagline early on, the first couple of years, of 2 ladies and a dude. We printed some T-shirts like that. So, yeah, we are majority woman-owned business. We are, I think our staff is right around 50% women in the brewery.
Yeah, that's
and
rare in the
processing,
brewery
everything.
industry. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because I've had emails with Robin, not knowing it was your wife, but just like it was so
Laura's
fun.
his wife. Robin's the business partner.
Vice versa, right? It was Laura,
Yeah.
because it was the whole marketing thing. And when you guys first opened, you had a periodic table of beers.
We still have it on the website.
Is
So,
it still there?
Yeah.
It's a little bit different though.
It is. It's not quite set up as a periodic table, but
Right.
it was. Yeah,
It
it was a lot
just,
of fun.
it was hysterical. So you could see the beers were turned on as to what they were brewing at that time. And you guys were doing like 6 or 8 beers, but now, holy tamale.
Yeah, it's the market pressure. Like a lot of the beer bars in place, they want something new, and so we're always having to turn off new IPAs or new lagers and just kind of keep that excitement going. We have a core line of beers that we do year round, but we're always doing something new.
Yeah, I was with my buddy Dave Bueller, who was one of the original founders of Elysian, and
Yep.
Dave and I were sitting in there. I just walked by one day. I came in to get some cervecita because
Yep.
I'm a bit wheat free. And anyway, Dave's like, sit down, and so there we sat yakking, and that's when Brad walked up. And it's amazing because he was talking about life in the beer world back in the mid 90s when he opened Elysian.
Yeah.
To what Stoops got going. Because I remember when you guys opened, you had the outdoor thing, you could get stuff to go. It was kind of right at COVID, and you guys had that little fridge there. That
Yeah.
little fridge has gotten bigger.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, we took over some more space, and then ended up moving up to Capitol Hill, so we have a second brewery up there now too. So a little more space, a little more brewing capacity.
And how's
And
that
you're
doing?
brewing on Capitol Hill as well. So Ballard and do you
Yep.
brew in Kenmore?
No, Kenmore
Okay.
is just a restaurant tap room.
Okay.
So no production.
So you
up there.
brew all in Seattle, Capitol Hill and Ballard.
Correct. Yep.
And how many things are you brewing now at a time?
Gosh, we have probably close to 30 different fermentation
Okay.
vessels. So a lot of them have core beers, but we have an Italian Pils in the tank right now. We have some collab beers that are like, German style Pilsners and dark lagers, and always some IPAs rolling
If
out.
someone was new to Stoop, what would you say? Like, what do they have to try that you feel like kind of defines your brand?
I think 2 beers, and they're both our core beers. One would be our Citra IPA, which is kind of a lower ABV IPA.
What does that mean?
A lot of IPAs can be up in that like 7.5%, and a couple
Alcohol.
and
Got it.
a couple of pints of that, and you really start to feel it. But this one's like 5.9, so it's something a little more sessionable and social. So that's one. And then our Robust Porter is the other. It's for the dark beer drinker, but it's just really rich, lots of notes of coffee and milk chocolate and stuff like that, without using coffee and milk chocolate. It's all from the malt.
Yeah.
Bridget, what did you mention that doesn't have wheat in it?
So he's got, and I can't remember how I got onto this, but I think I was there one day and just looked, and they have beers that are made with corn or rice, correct?
Well, this beer I think we're talking about is Cervecita. That's our Mexican style lager, and it's made with barley, but there's an actual enzyme that we put into it that breaks the gluten down. So we can't say it's gluten-free. It's made in a facility that has gluten
But it's
in it.
wheat-free.
It's wheat-free. Most of our beers are wheat-free. They're
Okay.
barley-based.
Got
but
it.
there's gluten in barley too. So cereal grains, rye, wheat, and barley all have gluten in them.
Right, right. So, it's interesting.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, one of your crew said something to me, and I was like, right on, you know. And I think it was during an event during COVID at the warehouse, because Tom and Jackie and team were sending food out of the warehouse for the crew and for, you know, it was COVID. It's like, well, it's 1
Anything
o'clock.
goes, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I think it was 1 o'clock, and I walked over, and I was like, "You guys open?" And I can't remember if I was with Shores or somebody, and we sat there and just started tasting beers. I mean, and you guys didn't at that time have a ton, but now you do, and that Cervecita is delicious because it is lower in alcohol.
Yeah, it's sub 5. It's 4.3, I think. So that's really a beer designed for a long afternoon in the sun and hanging out with friends.
I'm always curious because I'm not a huge beer. I enjoy beer, but I don't typically enjoy an IPA. That kind of like floral, hoppy note always tastes like I'm drinking like a bottle of perfume a little bit to me. So I tend to gravitate more towards the Pilsners and the less hop intense. And I always say, like, I love a crappy light beer. Like, give me a Coors Light any day kind of thing. So I feel like I'm always on the hunt for what's the best light beer version at some of these breweries, because I'm a little intimidated sometimes to go. I feel like I need to be into IPAs, or I need to know a lot about beer and stuff like that. And so what do you, for the non-beer person that's not, you know, I don't love like a hoppy taste, but I like a good light beer, you know, what is your...
Yeah, I think for us, those light beers would be the Cervecita.
Okay.
We do a Japanese style lager too, which has a barley and a rice base. So they're light, crisp, not a lot of hops. But I think you're finding a lot more breweries are making lagers now. And part of that is because of COVID. So like we didn't have places for our beers, and a lager takes at least two times the amount of time in a fermenter before it's done. So it gave some people some ability to like, well, this won't last 6 months, right? We'll be fine. Let's just put some lagers in the
and then you
tanks.
guys would blast through it. Sorry, we're out. I got a lot. And now you guys have it all the time, which is awesome.
We just kept making lagers. Yeah, I got some more tanks and made sure we could make the ales that we love and then the lagers that we were really passionate about too.
Yeah, and one thing I had a question about is in the Pacific Northwest, the whole concept of the IPAs, what Loretta mentioned, those intense, you know, you brewers love all of those notes.
Well, and we're growing so much. I mean, the fresh hop, I think, season here is so cool and interesting. I mean, I don't think that that's typical necessarily.
No, it's great. It's the only time we as brewers really have an aspect to do something that has some seasonality to it. Like winemakers have the harvest. Once a year you have one shot, right? But barley is well preserved. Most of the hops are processed and packaged in nitrogen. You have all this extra time. You can use it year round and they stay the same. But on fresh hop season, we're grabbing the hops that are right off the vine. They're not dried, they're not cured, and running home and putting them into a batch right away. So it's really our time to shine and be able to do something like right from the farm, right to the brewery,
Right.
and get to the customers.
Is it a less predictable product to work with fresh versus...
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't have any of the lab specs on it because they haven't sent it to the lab analysis. We're literally grabbing it right from the field.
And just going for it, because I've had some fresh hopped, and they were really nice. They were
It's
delicious,
a totally different
you know.
flavor.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a complete... I like the fresh hop, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that flavor profile is so interesting, and I like that it's different across.
So for our listeners, where do they find you? Where do they find Stoop? You mentioned Capitol Hill. Where's that on Capitol Hill?
We are right on Broadway, a block south of Pike.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
And
And then in Ballard, you're...
Ballard, right in the Ballard Brew District, 11th and 52nd.
Uh-huh.
And then Kenmore, right up in Kenmore Square. But we do a lot of wholesale too. So we have about 400 restaurant and
Wow.
bar partners that we sell brew to.
Right. And do you still have the outdoor dining up north at Kenmore?
Yes.
Outdoor
So-
kind of space. It was tents when I went there.
The tents are gone, and now there's structures with
Permanent.
heat lamps. Yes, pseudo
Been
permanent.
converted.
And then are you guys expanding, or?
No,
Okay.
we're busy.
They're
We're
taking a
busy.
breath.
Yeah, come on, give us a break.
Taking a deep breath. Well, awesome. Thank you so much, Brad, for coming on. It's been really fun to be neighbors in Ballard, and we love being a part of the brewery district in our own little way. So
Awesome.
we
Thank
appreciate
you.
it so
I'm
much.
glad
Come
you-
down and get some Cervecita.
All right, let me know you're coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Coming up, we have Scott Corey and Sasha Tinsley, owners of Parasol West in Normandy Park. You're listening to the Hot Stove Radio Show on Cairo Radio 97.3 FM.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I
I didn't get to try
Oh,
any.
and then you want to tell them what beers you have there?
Yeah.
So
You want to try the hot water?
Push you over a little bit closer.
Hello. Hi. How you doing?
Sasha.
Sasha will put
Oh, that's not okay. Yeah. Hello. Scott.
And we can, do you want, for YouTube, maybe,
Yeah, we can go closer over there. That's right.
Okay.
Bring him up in here.
Hi, Sasha. The
Okay.
first one, maybe. It's been a while since I've
Talk right like that. Hello.
For Chiro all those years ago, and so we'd go in after work, and then I started going, and you know, so I was like, it's great. You guys like Normandy Park?
We are. Yeah.
Oh, so a true neighborhood place.
Everett, serious. Yeah. I mean, we've been there for years, so it's kind of our stomping ground, basically. And,
crazy.
but definitely, yeah.
You guys are locked in on clientele there.
Well, yeah, I think.
There's not a lot going on there.
No.
Yeah. They a lot of the clientele when we were down in Renton, we had our place down in Renton, Parasol Cafe. And we were
A
down
little
there
too
for
early.
14 years.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
And then we ended up losing our lease where we were at, and so we moved up to Normandy Park.
Were you right in that little downtown Renton kind of neighborhood? Oh, so it's where anchovies and salt. Ah. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's tricky getting in there. Wow.
Quite a challenge to live through the construction. It's crazy.
Did you guys live down there?
We live where we live now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Yep.
Did Bridget give you the mic tutorial? You need to be like within an inch.
Been an inch. Okay.
And
Hello,
can you
hello.
adjust hers up?
Up a little bit.
Yeah, so you don't have to
Okay.
lean in.
Okay.
Yeah, Tom's
Perfect.
like,
Yeah.
listen to me. Listen to me.
Listen to
There
me.
you go.
There
Perfect.
you go.
Listen to
Yeah,
me.
you're going to be
Perfect.
right in there.
I don't know if I like
Sasha.
the shot of my head there, but. So that's what it looks like.
Yeah, that's fine.
There you are. So I guess you should take some from that side.
Ready?
Yeah.
Everybody ready? How's the beer? Good? Okay, good.
And we're back.
And we're back at the Hot Stove Society radio show. I'm Loretta,
And I'm Bridget Charters,
and Tom is out sick today, and we're forging ahead.
covering for the big dog.
Yeah, it's going to be the best show you've ever heard without him. This is my goal, is like the listeners are going to write in and say, who needs Tom? We want Loretta and Bridget all the time.
Oh, well, you can go play more golf, right?
Yeah, exactly. We have the privilege of being joined by Scott Corey and Sasha Tinsley, and they are the owners of Parasol West, and among a long history in the restaurant industry, it seems like. So, welcome to the show. Thank you for
Thank you.
Thank you for
Hello,
joining
hello.
us.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
And you, Sasha, are involved in La Spiga, or we're involved in La Spiga, which is near and dear to my heart because I went to SAS, which was like right across the street, and we had many a post dance competition meal and art show. You know, all of our post kind of school
Really?
meals were at Las Viga, right across the street.
At the old or the new?
I know they're building now. They're still building and
Yeah.
expanding. It's amazing.
So.
Yeah, well, thank you. The original location, I was part owner at the
Okay.
original location. Yes, with my sister and her husband.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, the
That's
three of us.
awesome. Yeah, cute little space right there on the corner of Broadway and Seneca, right?
Yeah, that space, we built that space out, and everything that you saw in the dining room was built in Italy and shipped over and
No
installed.
way.
Yeah, all the
Wow.
It was
tables,
charming,
all
and I love the
chairs.
curtains.
Yep, everything.
It was a very
Northern
sweet-
Italian.
It was very Northern Italian.
Yeah,
Crazy.
sounds-
I was here and they were, Sabrina and Pietro were in Italy, and we did it across the water, across the
It was
pond.
awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful little wood booths and
Yep,
the
all
tables
built
and
over
stuff.
there. Isn't
It
that
was
amazing?
magical. And you
Yeah.
guys would drop the baskets of
The Piadina bread.
Piadina,
we
warm
brought
Piadina.
that. That's from Pietro's region, so we brought that and introduced it to the Seattle.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
and you
like
guys
it.
met there, right?
We did. I would wait on this young man, and when he'd come taste wine, because you were buying it.
Were you working for a
Broadway,
wine?
I think.
Yeah, well, at that time, I was working for QOC up on Broadway, and some of my reps would take me out to lunch, and we would go to La Spiga pretty much every
bring
time.
the wines and
Well, yeah, taste some wines, eat some good food, and enjoy
And
our
chat
server.
up the staff, apparently.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's where we met, and so yeah, the rest is history.
that's awesome. So you guys went down to, you broke out on your own with the move, right? When you guys
We did,
expanded?
yeah, after we closed that location, I did a little stint at Wild Ginger as their pastry chef, and at Andaluca, I got to work with Chef Wayne. Yeah.
Ah,
Miss that guy. And then we found this little space down in Renton that was a little coffee shop. Our friends told us
Oh.
about, and they said, "You guys would rock it here if you think you want to take this on." And we got married in June of 2010. We went on our honeymoon and negotiated a lease.
Romantic.
Came back, right? my engagement, not my engagement, my wedding gift was a laptop. So I could
oh, that's so romantic.
Very romantic.
Instead of a ring, honey.
So yeah, we came back. I gave my notice at Wild Ginger, and we built out the first location, and yeah, we did really well there.
Yeah, I would imagine because there's not a ton of competition down there.
No, not
and there
right on the
still
water.
isn't, you know.
Right, yes.
But that's amazing. And so now, where are you guys located now?
So you just moved, right? So you had from 2010 to what, 2023? 2023, you had
yeah.
the Parasol Cafe, and now you just moved to a new location. Is that right?
Yeah, we were. Let's see. Yeah, November 1st of 23 is when we closed the cafe, and then we actually for a year we were negotiating the lease and building out our new space in Normandy Park. Took approximately about 9 months or so. So
Okay.
yeah, and then we just opened November 1st of 24.
And is it
so-
lunch and dinner, or just dinner, or?
Just dinner right now. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
we're open Tuesday through Saturday, 4 to 9. and then-
civilized.
Yeah, very much, very manageable. But yeah, we love it. It's a little smaller space, very manageable. We were managing somewhere in the neighborhood of 13 to 15 employees at the cafe, and we decided to kind of downsize a little bit, and now we have about four employees, I think. Four
Oh,
total.
that's
Yeah,
nice.
So, yeah, it's a little more manageable. It's real nice, and but we're just getting going, building it, and we're doing well. So
And it's a nice,
loving
it sounds like it's a nice bridge kind of between the wine, your wine history and your Italian food history, right? It's an Enoteca, really wine focused.
Yeah, we're pretty wine focused. We as with the cafe when we first started out, we wanted it to be really wine focused, kind of like a wine bar type of thing. And then with Sasha and a couple other people we hired, they started doing some great food, and so kind of the cafe ended up turning into more of a kind of finer dining actually.
Yeah.
And then so we're kind of when we started. Parasol West, we were thinking, we're going to kind of make this more wine focused and stuff, but it's slowly starting to turn into
creeps back in.
exactly what we were doing before. So,
Food and wine, perfect
it's-
pairing.
Yeah, so we're expanding the menu right now, and so we're more than just an Enoteca, wine bar. We're definitely moving in more of a finer dining direction. But.
Oh, nice. Well, that takes a little bit of work. So what kind of things do you guys have on the menu?
We do a little bit more than just Italian. So we have we brought over some favorites from our last place, our beef bourguignon over polenta. We have a seafood crepe that's absolutely delicious. It's a crepe thermidor. That's wonderful. We also introduced piadina. So I buy piadina from Sabrina. Her concept is called La Dispensa.
I loved La Dispensa, yeah.
So I buy wholesale piadina from her, and then we fill them. So we have a board section on our menu, and that's one of the boards you can get. So the piadina is a flatbread from Emilia Romagna, and so you fill it usually with a cheese and a meat and maybe a vegetable.
Little sandwiches.
That sounds amazing.
So flatbread kind of sandwiches, and then we have our salad, like our house salad. We have soups on the menu. Pâtés. We do charcuterie cheese. And then we've been doing some specials now that we've kind of gotten a few months under our pantry.
Right.
Okay. So we did like a salmon special with a beurre blanc and
Nice.
and a rosa di Parma after Valentine's Day. That's really delicious. It's a filet rolled with prosciutto and Parmesan, and you serve it with a marsala sauce. So it's like
nice.
Yeah, it's really good.
I really wish this was in my neighborhood.
I know. Having a nice little, so somebody could duck in. Do you have a counter? Could they sit at the counter and get a nice glass of wine?
We
Yeah,
finally
we
got our
do.
bar
Finally.
counter. I always wanted
Yeah.
one at the other place.
I know.
Yes.
We just
Beautiful
this.
quartz countertop.
Yeah, nice quartz bar, and we have everything pretty much. I mean, we have a liquor, we have a full bar there, and then we have all the wine, and I have a beer dispenser behind a beer keg. So yeah, I pretty much have everything. There's about 6 seats at the bar. Someone could just belly up and have a drink if they want, or they
just-
can have some snacks.
Oh,
or,
perfect.
Yeah,
Swing
so-
home
Sounds like a
on the
perfect
way home
neighborhood
there.
restaurant.
We do get a lot of that. Yeah, with a swing home and swing by on the way home. And
Were you guys
just-
busy for Valentine's Day?
We were, I think
Our
we ran
busiest, I wanna say.
yeah, definitely our busiest. We ran the menu. It was a chef's menu, and we ran it Friday and Saturday night. And I think we came close to doing 100 covers between.
In our
So
little
not bad for a
25 seat
small.
space.
When you have a small space like that, you have to turn it quite a bit. So we had at least 2.5 turns on Friday night, and Saturday was a little slower, but that was nice to have a little break or reprieve from.
Are
Friday
you both
night.
there every day? Or that you're open?
Yeah.
Yes.
And when
Yes.
we're not open.
And when you're not open.
Yeah, it's, it's a
you're
labor
never
of
not
love.
off. Yeah.
Definitely.
That's so awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sounds amazing.
I have
Super
to give
fun.
a shout out to our team too. We couldn't
Yeah,
do it.
do.
Our chef came back, Frank, and we all worked together. But Christy, our lead server, came back. They waited that year, and they're back.
Oh, they
with
did.
us.
So
Yeah.
they shifted with you.
They
That's
shifted with
awesome.
us.
Yeah.
So familiar faces. When
how
you
do
come in.
listeners find you? Where exactly are you?
We are right off First Avenue in Normandy Park. It's a little, it's kind of funny to say, but we're in a little strip mall. There's a little QFC in the parking lot. It's called the Manhattan Village, so it's 17833 First Avenue South. Normandy Park's a little town. It's kind of fun. It's
So
between
cute.
Darien and Des Moines.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on
Down
the
at
water.
Three Tree Point there.
Yes, right?
Beautiful.
Beautiful
Yeah.
views. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Loretta, we should go down and visit them, huh?
Yeah, let's have dinner.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
You're
awesome.
welcome anytime.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. Little
you.
Seattle restaurant history here. Yeah,
Thanks
that's
for having
awesome.
us.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Well,
it.
congratulations on the new space and
Thank
Hey,
you.
thank you.
all the best luck to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
thank
much.
you.
All right.
Bridget, you and I are going to talk charcuterie boards
Perfect.
when
That's
we come
coming
back.
up next.
Yes.
Awesome.
And you're listening to the Hot Stove Society radio show on Cairo 97.3 FM.
And then let's get a photo with you guys up here.
Sure, that'd
And
be
then
awesome.
Brad, we'll do it after. I forgot. Taylor, do you want to? Yeah. Come on up. And then do you want to grab the thing of beers for Brad for the next one?
Yes. Yay, much better. It makes me happy. gonna take one more.
Great. And then, Brad, you want to come on up and get a photo with you? Thanks, guys. Really nice to meet you guys.
Yes, I will then send because I was on Friday when the show goes live. Yeah, that'd be great. I say thank you to the guests. Good job. And I'll include the picture. That would be that
Personal? Do that.
Laura does a lot of it, but then also outsource some stuff.
I have these little cute things
hot
I'm
water's
just going to pass out
delicious.
for friends.
Thank you.
Tasty. No. Oh, how cute. Are you going to talk about that? Yeah. No, that's cool. That was, you got that as a gift, Becky? Yes. That is awesome. Can I have the box? I think that's awesome. Okay.
All right.
Wait for Becky.
5 minutes behind, Bridget.
Are we?
Yep.
That's all right. That's all right.
This is segment 1 of hour 2, so I'm going to.
Back for the second hour. We made it. We're halfway there.
Halfway there.
Puffy eye.
All right, halfway there.
Okay, we're back.
Welcome back to the Hot Stove Society radio show. If you are thinking to yourself, that doesn't sound like Tom Douglas.
Do you,
are
sound a
correct.
little bit like your dad? Nah.
I don't know. I don't think I can go that deep. I'm Loretta Douglas.
And I'm Bridget Charters.
And we are doing the show without the man himself today. He's under
you're
the
doing him
weather.
proud.
So we're forging ahead.
I know, it was nice. He said, go for it.
Said go for it. Like he trusted us or something. It's weird.
Is
never
that
happened
possible?
before.
I know. Is that possible? I think so.
Yeah.
He's, he can go golf more.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Now that he knows, he can leave the show to us.
Uh-oh.
You never know. Maybe he's going to start skipping out more often.
Right. So we're in our second hour, and in this second hour, we're going to talk charcuterie and cheese boards. We're also going to talk to Todd Akima from Elliott Bay Distributing. Fix that, Sean. And then our fabulous editor, Sean from Cairo, is here with us. Woohoo! He's got muffins, and then we're going to play Rub with Love Tasty Trivia.
And without Tom Douglas here, maybe
But you
we're
get
going to win.
Tom's hard questions.
I
So
don't,
prepare
Becky wouldn't
to lose,
Becky would
but
never
maybe
do
not.
that to me.
Becky's
gonna be
grinning
fun.
over there like she ate the bird.
Cat
the
got the
that ate
cream or
bird,
whatever. Yeah. So, okay, Bridget,
Yeah.
I have a charcuterie board formula.
Okay.
Do you?
Well, yeah.
Or do you just throw whatever on there?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I have a formula. I used to do a lot of catering, and then of course working in restaurants around town, and then teaching at the Art Institute.
Yeah.
You kind of have to have some kind of a formula if you're serving groups, numbers,
Okay.
and we do here at Hot Stove.
My lovely husband used to, his like post-college job was at the cheese counter at De Laurenti. And that is where he kind of like learned all about cheese. And then a few years ago, he started working for the company that owns Beechers. And so now our life is all cheese all the time.
Love it.
Oh, that's so sad.
But he's very passionate about his cheese plates, and it's kind of forced us into like a pattern here that we go for.
That's not
so.
a bad pattern, though.
No.
Okay,
it's
I'm
good.
excited to hear this formula. I got my
Okay.
pen.
Oh, I mean, I
and
feel like
paper.
I'm like building it up a little more than it actually is. But to me, there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements maybe to a charcuterie board. So for me, that's 1 fruit, 1 nut, 1 to 2 meats, and then 3 cheeses.
Cheeses.
And I would say 2 crackers. So it's like a 1, 1, 1, 2, 3.
Keep it simple. Don't overthink it. I like it.
Yeah. And for me, the cheese is a soft, a medium, and a hard cheese. I think some people would probably get to 4 or 5 because they want to add in a blue or a triple creme or something like that instead of just the soft. But
Right.
Does your formula change based on how many people you have?
Yes, let me
Yes.
answer that for you. Yes,
Yes.
because the bigger the group, the more range you want.
Yeah.
But it depends on what you've offered. Like if I'm doing a catering or a stand-up event, used to do a bunch of things for Allied Arts, and they'd say, we want a cheese board, no mention of meat. But then when you say charcuterie board,
That's
what
really
you're
means
referring to is meat specifically, and maybe there's a cheese or 2 in there.
Yeah. And I would say, one of my kind of entertaining, not hacks, but is I could pretty much always put this board together
Yes.
out of my fridge.
Yep.
Like there is not really a time that somebody could show up at my house and I wouldn't have all of those elements in my fridge and pantry to
Right.
be able to.
I agreed. I
Pull it
same.
out.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can kind of wing it. And the nice thing about it is that, we invited so and so over, and
Yeah.
you got a few minutes to throw something together.
Yeah, if you have a bottle of wine in your fridge always, or a bottle of champagne in your fridge always, and your cheese drawer with
Yep.
3 cheeses, I think you're good to go. And I actually have kind of brands so for me, my soft go-to cheese that I always have in my fridge is that Meredith Dairy marinated sheep cheese and olive oil.
marinated, yeah.
Oh, I haven't had that.
Oh my God, Bridget, you need to have it. It's
Okay.
so good.
And what's it called?
It's Meredith Dairy. I believe it's an Australian
Meredith Dairy,
brand.
okay.
I think they honestly have it in giant size at Costco now, but I get the smaller containers at.
I've heard about that.
Town
Those
and Country,
tubs of
things like that.
marinade with the herbs and stuff in it.
It has whole peppercorns usually, and they're these kind of cubes of this soft sheep goat mix. But it's nice to have because it's not cow's milk. So if you end up with somebody at your house that doesn't do cow's milk, you have something. And then we always have a
Beechers,
Beechers.
'cause it's free.
That aged cheddar is so good.
The 4-year flagship, I think, is worthy of any
Delicious.
cheese tray. Like
Delicious.
it's just delicious. It's pretty widely available, so it's easy to keep. And then it has a million, I would say,
And they also
applications.
have that at Costco.
Yes, I don't know. Do they have the 4-year?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I
And
should
then what
put
would your
that
third
probably.
be?
And then my third would be, I love that old Amsterdam aged Gouda, like the really hard, nutty Gouda. And then I always have an apple in my fridge, so
Yep.
I just thinly slice an apple. I pretty much always have a thing of Marcona almonds or like candied pecans that I would put on there. And then I like one kind of fancy cracker and one plain cracker. So we usually have the Beechers plain crackers because we have them. And then I like what is that brand? The Leslie Stowe.
Yes, that has the nuts in it.
That has
and-
the nuts and the fruit, in the
one,
cracker.
yeah, those are beautiful.
Those are so
what are they
good.
called? What's the name of
Yeah,
those?
it's-
Rainforest
Rainforest or something.
crisps or Rain crisps,
Rain
something
crisps,
like that.
it's-
They're so good. The Kalamata olive
They're beautiful,
one
too.
or
And
the
fig.
one, so good. And then I always have a little jar of that fig spread.
Yep, from Croatia, I think.
in there. Yeah, and
so I have a
it's-
question on cheese.
Okay.
Because a friend of mine is really passionate about this. Do you cut the big hard cheeses? Do you pre-cut it and lay them out, or you just leave a knife there for people to do it
I
themselves?
leave a knife.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends
personally.
on the size of the event.
Yeah.
So I'll usually, if I'm doing a big cake, again, I was doing a lot of Italian stuff. So if it was something like Parmesan that they were really going to struggle over, you can take a Parmesan knife and break chunks. Have the back of the cheese there so they
Right.
can see what it is, but then have something hard like that. But something like a Matisse, if you pull those cheeses out early, if you know your guests are coming over at noon, get all those cheeses out of the fridge and have them on
Yeah.
the counter ready
I think
to
as
go.
soon as you hear you have company coming over, if it's like day of, pull it out because
Yeah.
you don't want freezing cold
Right.
cheese.
Tastes
and
so
it
much
can
better.
sit out. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Those
It's
cheeses
fine.
sit out. It was funny. We did that Terry event. Tom was like, "Where's the cheese?" And we're like, "It's on the speed rack. It has been for a day,
Yeah,
sitting at
it's
room
fine.
temperature, just getting
You
super
don't have the health
ripe."
department in your own house, so just
That's
don't worry
true.
about it.
Don't worry about the 4-hour rule.
Yeah, and so for me on the cheeses, if I'm doing that cheese board, I do the same thing you do, Loretta. I have a nice range, and I would go Italian, so I tend to go with a pecorino, some kind of a sheep's milk, straight pecorino, and then perhaps a blend. That blend, though, would be in some kind of a blue.
A blue, okay. Yeah, I'm not a blue cheese person, so I never.
I'm not
have it,
really
but-
either, unless it's like a Gorgonzola Dolce Latte, which hits that triple creme, and they're soft
You're kind of
and
checking
delicious.
2 boxes with that one, yeah.
Right, and then I always call it the cheater cheese, which is that Camanzola, which
yeah.
pretty much everybody can handle
It's
that.
crack. It's so good.
My
I love it.
my favorite all-time favorite kind of fancy or specialty cheese is the Humboldt Fog, and it has
that
that
is
line
good.
of ash through the middle. And I
Yes.
feel like if you want to take it one step up, kind of thing, it
That's
looks
pretty.
beautiful. That's a really, but it's a mild flavor, and
Right,
it's an easy
right.
one to kind of
Yeah,
add.
so if I'm doing a big event, I will so we had last week we had PFI on.
Yes.
Pacific Food Importers, and you can go down to their location at Dearborn and Rainier. So when I catered, I was at their old location, but I go there now, and you've got, I think now they have a half-pound minimum, but the prices are significantly better than getting those little 4-ounce pieces at, individually wrapped at the grocery store. And depending on where you're located in the Puget Sound, you got to find a place where you got a cheesemonger, right,
Yeah.
to get those good cheeses. And so the really ripe ones that Loretta's talking about, those triple cremes, they go pretty fast as they start to ripen. And it's some kind of a hard cheese, some kind of a sheep's milk cheese, some kind of a goat cheese, and then texture-wise, triple creme.
What do you need to add in
soft,
texture-wise?
spreadable, exactly.
Yeah.
And then, same thing. I dump in the fruit. I'll
Fruit
dump in nuts,
What about
olives.
me? For me, I try and do 2, and I try and do 1 soft and 1 hard cured. So I would do like a prosciutto or a mortadella or something like that that's soft, and then
Oh,
I would do like
delicious.
the hard cured salami that.
Which those keep forever in
I mean,
your
yeah,
fridge,
you can
too.
have that in your fridge for longer than you think.
And I even like those little kind of individual ones, and I put them in a little glass so they're standing up, kind of like a pretzel that you just pick.
I've put like a freaking sliced Landjaeger on a cheese
Oh,
tray
I've
before.
done that
Like, they're-
before,
I
yeah.
mean, it's
You
easy.
can't go
People
wrong.
like them. Everybody just wants to nibble, so you don't have to overthink it. But I would also say one of the things I learned from my husband Ben after he worked at De Laurenti was find a cheesemonger at your grocery store
Yeah.
that you trust. I mean, if you are a lot of our local. Even the QFC has the Murray's counter, but if you're shopping at Met Market or Town and Country, or if you have the time to go,
PCC has a great counter.
Like,
My
if
guys-
you have the time to go to the market and shop at De Laurenti, like those people are knowledgeable
Super knowledgeable.
about what they're doing there, and just tell them what you like and let them help guide you.
I have a
would
guy
say.
in Kirkland QFC or PCC that does that for me, and he's always giving tastes. And it's
that's the best,
It's just a fun
yeah.
experience. I've tried
Yeah.
things I never would have thought of.
Yeah, and then Becky, to give you a plug, Becky got this gift. It's called the Cheese Board Deck. It's a box, and inside are 50 styling cards with these beautiful images with ideas. It's fabulous.
It's
I love
fun.
this.
It's fun.
And it's you can see the different seasons. So when it's summer, guys, use fresh fruits. You know, oh my God, it's so good. Now
Put
it's-
berries on there, you know, in the winter or fall, use the apple.
and olives.
When you get pears, like, you know, switch it up. But yeah.
it's super
So-
fun.
Can't go wrong.
So.
No.
And have it ready. I mean, it is the easiest, most crowd pleasing thing, I think, to pull out. And we have had plenty of nights that are like charcuterie dinners. All you need to do
Absolutely.
is add a baguette and bulk it up, and you don't need to serve anything else.
Love
And
it.
it can be done in advance, way in advance, and just sit on the counter. It's
True.
perfect, yeah.
All right.
Well,
Next
cool.
up, we are talking wine to go with your cheese boards and much more with Todd Alkema from Elliott Bay Distributing. And you're listening to the Hot Stove
Yeah.
Society radio show, Cairo 97.3 FM.
Very good.
All right, Todd, come on up. Is it kind of fun? I mean, it's kind of cute. You can go online too, but I just thought it was really cute.
Good to see you too.
I have construction
Awesome.
at my house right now. And they just showed up and they have
the
all these
microphone.
questions of like, what do we do here? And I'm like, I can't talk.
Yeah, I can't talk right now.
Sounds good. Ready?
You want me to answer it for her? I can make those decisions.
FaceTime.
Have you been on before?
No, this is my
What are you
first
doing?
time.
Okay,
Kitchen?
so you get to kind of lean forward.
Closet.
Yeah, speak into the microphone.
Hello.
When we moved in, we
No.
converted a bedroom to
No, you don't have to be low, just be up close
gigantic
versus
walk-in closet.
Yeah,
don't
don't
drift back because then we can't hear you and then Tom will
Sit
yell
right
at
up
us
into
later.
here.
Yeah, there you go.
Bedroom.
Get my radio voice
I know,
on.
you know Tom, right?
Yes.
That's
Very
But I don't know
Yes.
Loretta. Hi, Loretta.
Oh, well,
It's
Hi.
good to meet you.
Priorities.
Todd Alkema.
Alchema.
Alkema.
Like you're an alchemist.
That's the
Oh,
one.
that's
Okay.
awesome.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Turn things into gold.
Yeah, exactly. Or
Wine
water
and-
it, water in the
water
wine.
into wine.
Wait, no,
What-
that's
speaking like
Jesus.
Can I get you a glass of water?
No, I'm good.
He's been sitting back.
I've been sitting back there drinking water.
I know you get up here and it's like,
Yeah, now I have to go to the bathroom.
then your mind goes blank, right? No.
Yeah.
Actually,
It's called Meredith Dairy or Meredith Farms, and it's a sheep and goat.
And they're like little
And they're
kind
little
of balls.
Yeah, squares.
Oh, they're
Come in a
square.
glass jar. They look like that.
I've seen them they're in bigger tubs at Costco.
Yeah, but-
some friends are like,
Town and
oh
Country, I
my
think
God.
they're so good. And I'll just get a little separate bowl and pull out like however many cubes I think I need. But it stays good, marinated in there for a long time. And I have yet to meet somebody that doesn't like it. So
I know the Costco's all
it's
have.
easier to store like than the goat cheese logs, you
Logs.
know, that kind of can get like gross.
Well, you
Yeah.
open them up and you got to just woof it down.
once those are open, it's time to go.
Yeah, exactly.
We roll them in herbs Provence.
Oh, dried
Roll
herbs.
logs. Yeah, dried herbs
Yeah.
Provence. Roll the whole thing in that, and then slice them up.
Slice it?
Kind of.
Okay.
Sometimes it's funny. You're talking about slice or no slice. You kind of need to slice some of those cheeses,
Yeah.
otherwise
Yeah.
your charcuterie board
They make
just
a
is
mess on-
Absolutely
Everybody's like
mess.
the knife is
Yeah.
staring across and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Oh my God. Got too excited. Oh, ready?
We're ready.
All right, we are back. And Bridget and I are filling in for Tom today, who's under the weather. Becky's here. It's a girl party. Now it's a girl party joined by Todd Alkema, who is a sales rep for Elliott Bay Distributing, which is a wine only
Yes,
distributor.
wine only. We have a couple spirits, but we're
Okay.
focused on wine. We have sake now also.
Oh, rice wine, right?
Yes.
Counts.
Yes.
And he
in there.
they provide wine. Elliott Bay provides wine to the company.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Lots.
Lots.
Yes.
Love it. Lots
Thanks
of
for
wine
having
for
me.
us. Yes, thank you for joining us.
Indeed.
And Bridget said she just ran into you.
Yeah, at the Ballard Market, I was doing kind of a fancy dinner up in the Highlands for some folks, and I can't remember who they were dealing with wine before, but they were like, can you bring some interesting wines? And so the gal that's the head of wines at Ballard Market, help me, is her name Julie?
Janae.
Janae. She's amazing and super knowledgeable, and I think formerly with Noble Wines, one
That's
of the
correct,
distributors.
yes.
Yeah. Anyway, Todd was standing there one day, and they were chit-chatting, and I overheard them, and they're pointing at some of the wines that I like. And in the French-Italian aisle at Ballard Market, they have all these cool wines. It's amazing. And I know you guys listening around the sound, we're going to talk about, like, how do you find all these cool wines, you know?
But I also think what you just said, just like we said about your kind of grocery cheesemonger, is utilize your resources. I mean, the wine department person at Ballard Market, for example, or Town and Country now, like those are knowledgeable people a lot of
Absolutely.
times. So take advantage of having them there.
They went for the 9-to-5 jobs at the grocery stores.
Well, it's interesting that you were talking about that because I think that these specialty stores, more of the family-owned and operated retailers, especially in the Pacific Northwest, are going to be the places you're going to want to go to have that more curated selection of wines that aren't necessarily so, shall we say, corporate like. The larger retailers, let's just face facts, are now very corporate-like. They're owned by companies that are nationwide and don't have as much local control. So what you're finding is that the small family-owned and operated retailers, like I was saying, have much better wine selections, and they have people who are sort of, dedicating their career to actually working in those stores and curating that selection. And they're just, generally speaking, much more knowledgeable than you're going to find at your regular grocery
Your
store.
big
Right,
Yeah.
and it's
big store,
interesting
yeah.
because I met one guy at one of the PCCs, and he's a sommelier from a restaurant.
Right,
And he just
yeah.
got burned out, and there he is at PCC, and I'm like, no way.
Yeah,
okay.
let me pick your brain. Let's talk, that kind of
Exactly.
thing.
Well, our buddy at Pike and Western, Michael Tier, he's been on the show
Oh,
many
I
times.
mean,
He's so helpful.
Yeah,
And his
wine-
whole team is
Yes,
amazing and
yes.
helpful.
Fabulous folks. Wine shops. I mean, pretty much every town has a reputable wine shop or just a wine shop. If it's a wine shop, let's just say it's reputable because those folks they're tasting all the wines before they're buying them. Whereas that's, I think, kind of the primary difference. So at retailers, the wines are just sent in by distributors. There might
They're
be
not getting
someone
to choose what they're
Correct.
bringing
That-
in.
Well,
yeah.
you go into your, let's just say, bigger retailer. I don't have to name names, but you'll notice it's the same selection at each store. You can almost find the wine on the same spot in each store by walking
Well,
in.
and those stores now, a lot of even the sub brands are owned by the same larger brand,
Right,
right? So it's
right.
not just.
That
It
is
makes it easy for the
touche.
store. You
Yeah,
get
well,
it.
it's economies of scale, and
Yeah.
it's writ large. It's almost sort of like kind of a snapshot of exactly what's going on in so many other industries in our country right now. So I think we have a bounty of wealth. Just over the past, we have all this world class wine region in Washington, and so we should be shopping in our backyard. You should be going to the farmers markets and supporting the people who are bringing things in like that. And at every farmers market I've been to, all of them have a liquor license, and so you can meet the producer at many of those places. So there's not a lot of them usually, but you're able to go and meet a couple of the people there and then head to your retailer and ask for those wines or go seek them out. The best place is always going to be the small family owned and operated or your wine shops. And that's going to be where the people are knowledgeable and have a really great selection. And we just want more people drinking wine, especially our local wines.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, and when's Taste Washington?
That's coming up in a
couple
weekend.
weeks, yeah.
Or 2 weekends, yeah, sorry.
And
it's
so
the
that's a great
13th
opportunity.
to 14th.
If you're, and it's in.
It's
Todd
sold.
and I
I mean, it's pretty close to sold out. So
I believe it's sold
yeah,
out.
I
really?
think it is.
Yes.
fully sold
Yeah,
out.
it's very
And that's-
popular these
If
days.
you have tickets,
Yeah.
I'll be working. Come say hi.
Are you? Yeah. What's nice about that event is it's Taste Washington.
Yeah.
And, it's amazing because you can try all of those different Washington wines. But what you were saying about grocery stores, I was traveling a bit and I'd hit these different grocery store, Publix and places like that, and it's like, trying to get different wines that aren't super tannic or strong, or they feel like they've got a lot of sugar in them.
But
what
Todd,
happens with those big
You're
producers?
a distributor, so I mean, you have to get people what they want, also, right? And
Correct,
there
yes.
is some level of you have to be able to put widely appreciated and drinkable, likable wines on menus and
That sounds
distribute
like
them
Tom Douglas speaking.
Yeah.
at scale. So,
We
but-
want to give the people what they want, correct? And I always like to say the wine that's in the glass in your hand that you like drinking right now is the best wine in the world, because that's really all that matters.
Yeah.
Is if what's in your glass you're enjoying drinking. I could sit here and tell you that wine from Bordeaux or Burgundy is the best wine in the world, and some of them certainly are. But if you don't like the way that tastes yourself, then there's no point in having that.
Don't
there.
drink it.
Yeah,
Life's too short.
Right.
And I think to circle back, that's a lot where you get this, where you go into these stores or these wine shops, you have that personal one-on-one
Right.
conversation with these folks that own these shops, and they've tasted the wines. And that's the biggest difference with the retailers that are smaller, is they have almost without fail tasted almost every wine that's on their shelf. And that you just, it's like you were talking earlier with the cheesemonger and everything. You just want to have a relationship with that person, or even just a conversation. You don't have to have a relationship with them, because it seems like these days no one wants to talk to anybody. You go to all these stores and they're all self-checkout now. No one wants to
Yeah.
go talk to the checker or whatever.
my God.
It's very silly to a degree. I encourage conversation. It's pretty much what I do for a living. I go talk all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm pouring wine, but I'm a really good talker.
What are a couple things you're selling right now that you feel hit that broad appeal, but also are delicious and special? And
Well, certainly selling from our backyard is our forte. We definitely want to be pushing always Washington wines and the producers that we have, and from Oregon also too. That's what the biggest sellers are right now, is Washington, Oregon.
Really?
Yes. I've been selling wine for 30 years, and when I started, it was all California all the time, and there was hardly any Oregon, hardly any Washington, and that is completely flip-flopped, and it flip-flopped probably over 10 years ago or 15 years ago. So people are wanting to shop in their backyard. They want to spend money on the people that are living here in our state and producing those things. Sauvignon Blanc is just hot right now. No matter where it comes from in the world, people
Really?
are drinking lots of Sauvignon Blanc.
But
Some
yeah,
fans here,
Becky's
some not.
motioning thumbs down, but they're changing.
But that's just my personal take.
Yeah.
But they're changing from what we knew of a Sauvignon Blanc, those overly sweet,
Yes.
versus the overly dry Chardonnays.
Well,
Right?
and then some of the Sauvignon Blanc that's coming from, say, like New Zealand, that's a very popular place for growing Sauvignon Blanc right now. A lot of those can be, I don't want to say hit or miss, but they're buyer beware. You want to make sure that you're buying the types that you like. And a lot of them can have really nice sweet fruit instead of super high acid, but they do have a little higher level of acidity, so they're great with all sorts of food. Just want to be careful, because some of them can lean a little bit more in the green pepper, bell pepper sort of category, and that's again where you're going to go in and you're going to talk to your steward or your wine shop owner and say, I like this type of Sauvignon Blanc versus another. And it's a very versatile grape. You can put it in oak if you want to and kind of soften those acids, but the popular take right now is definitely the higher acid, very fruit driven. And then rosé.
Oh my God.
Rosé all the
It's
time.
gone
All
nuts.
rosé
It's gone
all
nuts.
the time. It's definitely gone nuts, and that's another one that is really great to go and talk to someone about, because the category of rosé writ large is
very broad.
It's very broad. We're long ways away from the days of White Zinfandel, where it was really sweet.
And technically, a rosé is a white Zinfandel, correct?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
It's a red.
Not funny.
It's a red grape made into a essentially pink-colored wine.
I cut my teeth waiting tables on white Zinfandel.
I think many people did.
Money. I made a ton of money as a waiter.
We could have an entire segment dedicated to rosé, probably two. So have me back. And we can
Yeah,
talk about
exactly.
rosé more
I already
some
wrote
other
it
time.
down. Rosé.
Yeah, there you go. But yes, support your local stores and your independents. They're the ones who are going to be able to help you the most.
I
and
mean,
make
it's
great
intimidating,
decisions.
right? So it's
It
great
can be,
for
but it
them
shouldn't
to,
be. It's just crunched grapes.
Right, but it's a
not
great.
that serious.
No,
Yes, it doesn't have to be. You don't have to have your pink in the air to enjoy your wine.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate it. We'll get you back on because we're coming into rosé season, right?
That's correct.
Let's talk
do
about
it.
it. Awesome.
All right.
Thank you, Todd, so
Yes.
much.
Okay, cheers.
When we come back, we are joined by our longtime producer, Sean DeTore, and he's going to talk about what it's like here
Yeah.
to listen to us and edit all of our voices out.
And he brought in some
And he
homemade
brought
muffins.
which I can't wait for.
That's
It's
awesome.
97.3 Cairo
Awesome.
FM.
Yeah.
You guys still hungry? I'm Taylor.
Super. That was great. Yeah.
God. So cute. Love that.
So he wants to talk about that for sure.
Muffin.
Okay. That's
Huh? Yeah, that's good. Her tips about having these certain items in the fridge and those certain items in the drawer. And like I always have those Matisse wheels of the fig stuff, and I, then you get into. Oh, for dessert.
Yeah.
Something to nibble on. That's awesome.
What's that?
Do you know about the? No, I'm just kidding.
What the what?
The microphone.
Oh, I have no idea how this works.
He's never been on the mic before.
No.
No, he's got a lot of mics.
I do, yeah. It doesn't mean I'm good.
Yeah, you
a lot of
are.
experience.
Hey, thanks, Todd. See you later.
So
I know.
when we talk about the muffins at it's just a basic recipe I found online and then added some of my own stuff. Should I go through it real quick when we do it? Or
You need to go through like measurements.
Yeah.
But I would just go through
Like,
what's in it, why
just-
you added what you did.
okay.
To get it to where
And you got into baking, and you've been tinkering, and
Yeah, okay.
So we could just start out with your background. I don't know how long you do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You've got to talk about your music a little bit. Is that
Okay.
everybody's writing in there.
Okay.
And the
Yeah.
stuff, if it flows.
Yeah, that
Great.
works. Thank you.
That's fine too.
And then I have anything Tom and Terry had taught me if we get there.
Yes.
Love that.
oh
Perfect.
man, top of the moment.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I can't wait to give Tom guff about that.
You got to give Tom shit
Yeah,
on this segment.
because I brought him and Terry to KFC, not Tom. I wrote an article about it.
Oh, okay. We're gonna blow things up here. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Ready?
Yes.
All right, we are
we're
back
back.
in the Hot Stove Society Radio studios here. Bridget and I are filling in for an ill Tom Douglas today.
Some big shoes.
Big shoes, size
Or
14.
is he golfing somewhere?
Yeah, he probably
and he's
just
like
lied to
blowing
us.
off, right?
lied to us. Was like,
funny.
yeah, I got better things
It
to
got
do.
so
than-"
sunny. I sat on a bench a few days ago, and it was 60.
Yeah.
And the sun was shining on my face, and it was actually warm.
And yeah, he just ditched us.
He could be golfing.
We are joined today,
So
I'm very
excited.
excited, by Sean DiTore. And Sean has been this show, I say I've only been on this show for a year. Sean, you've been with the show for years and years.
Yeah, I've been with Cairo for 18 years, and then I've been with this show when it was Seattle Kitchen
Seattle
on the
Kitchen
weekends.
Radio, yeah.
Yeah, and I was working with Tom and Terry on the weekends at like 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
And
when
you
they
were
were
in studio then,
Yeah,
Was
right?
it live in the
It
studio?
was live in studio for many years.
And
Years.
was that when Tina was?
yeah.
In the studio?
It was
Nice.
really fun.
Yeah, I remember he used to leave every Saturday or Sunday afternoon for a couple hours and go do the show. And then anytime we traveled, he would travel with his suitcase of equipment so that he could set up and do it remotely.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
And
Oh.
this Tom has mentioned this before, but back when they had the show in studio, they would sometimes have guests come in and bring them wine or whatever, or they'd bring their own in. But Tom would have a corkscrew or a wine bottle opener hidden somewhere in the studio, so only him and Terry and myself knew about it.
Yeah,
Awesome.
The hidden wine
Oh
opener.
my
I
God,
love that.
that's so funny. That's awesome. Yeah, live radio is very different than this taping thing.
I know.
So we're not your only show, I imagine. I hope that we don't take up that much of your time, honestly. But
Yeah, no, when I was working, I'm still at Cairo, but for about 15 of those years, I was running the audio board for Ron and Don and Dory Monson and random shows like that. So now I'm in commercial production for the last 3 years or so.
What does that mean?
So the commercials you hear on Cairo, KTTH, Seattle Sports, some of those I may have produced, like written them, voiced them, add music, produced them from nothing, kind of like what you do in the kitchen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so cool. Well, I mean, one of the things we get the most comments on on this show, and that is honestly, because I've heard the show, right? I recorded it, but I listen on Cairo because of the music, which I feel like has become like this really unique life of its own part of our show that you put in. And I'm always amazed that you seem to be able to find like a song that goes with every topic.
I'm amazed as well.
Has technology helped quite a bit with that?
Yeah, thanks YouTube.
Yes.
So, yeah, I love the freedom with the music. So, yeah, it's if you've got a topic about whatever it is, brie or a pear, I'll just go to the World Wide Web and type in YouTube. And
Songs about pears.
Yeah, pear song, something song, and then something usually comes up, and if
That's
not,
AI
yeah,
at
I'll
work.
go with a generic song if I can't find a specific. But I appreciate that comment about the music. It's really fun.
I mean, I've written to you before because a listener wanted your playlist. I'm like,
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't really do that. Sorry.
Yeah, so I'm such a professional that all the music I use, I don't keep it written down on a playlist. So
Because you can.
I can.
Oh, you
I just
can.
don't
Okay.
do it
Yeah.
for some reason. But I have all the music at my job in the finals.
We quote that I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. My dad and I quote that all the time, and that's been a long time kind of lead in of
Funny.
the
That's
the
awesome.
show, and I love it. So if you're a regular listener and you're not ever listening on Cairo, you should, because it really does add like a very sweet special element, I think, to the experience.
And
to
you get
have
it on the
these, like,
podcast, too.
Intro, outro.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
on
it's
the
on the-
yeah, it's on the podcast.
what's that,
It's just not if you're
Insider?
watching YouTube Live or
right.
on this. It's not.
Right.
My Northwest, right?
Right? Or any podcast platform. But yes, my Northwest is typically.
Yeah.
Okay, but also, you are an avid baker. Is that true?
I wouldn't say avid, but I would say that I know how to do it.
Okay.
And just recently, like a couple of months ago, 3 months ago, I started making banana bread because I hadn't done that in a long time, and it's really simple.
Yeah.
So I started with the banana bread, and then I started transitioning to muffins. Just found a simple recipe online, so if anyone has their own recipe, you can probably just use that. And bananas, and then I decided to add blueberries, walnuts, and dairy-free chocolate chips. And I just looked up what fruit goes well with banana again, on the World Wide Web. And
Oh my God,
blueberries.
that's awesome.
Blueberries was one of the ones that came up,
Oh.
and I think they're great. And I've kind of perfected them.
They're delicious.
Very
They're
cool.
really moist.
Yeah, thank you.
We were very lucky he brought them in for the whole audience
Yes.
to
Yeah.
try
And
today.
what's the
Double
trick?
muffins today. Nice.
How long did it take you to get to this point?
To get to this point of these
Of
muffins.
baking and
Um,
just, how'd you teach yourself?
Well, I mean, growing up, my mom and dad cooked a lot. My mom baked a lot. My dad cooked as well. My mom made Sunday gravy, every week. So I learned a lot from my parents. And then, of course, Tom and Terry. And then I just enjoy cooking. That's pretty much what I do instead of baking, really. And I've just learned stuff over the years. Yeah, and kind of collected knowledge.
Right. And I think, if you're trying to teach yourself, it's just repetition.
That's
Make
what it
it
is.
again. Make that banana bread again. Make it again.
And that's what I
Tweak it.
did. That's what I did because I tried raspberries and I did not like the raspberries.
They're
in
kind
there.
of
They were too
bitter a
bitter.
little bit,
Yeah, and
yeah.
I put them in with the blueberries, and that was not good. But yeah, it's just trial and error, and so.
Well, I think one of the things I love about this is my dad always talks about having a recipe that you own. So like, what's something that no matter what, you can like whip this
Out
out
of your head.
and just make it. You have somebody coming over, you want to take something to a host as like a little hostess gift, anything like that. Like,
What's
what is
yours,
that?
Loretta,
What's my recipe that I own?
that you can just do out of your head? Baked good.
Baked good?
Yeah.
I can do zucchini bread out of my head, and I do often. I make zucchini bread
Right.
all the time.
So, Becky, how about you?
Well,
Out of your head.
out of
baked
my
good.
head, baked good. Same thing with bananas and eggs. I can't have eggs anymore, but eggs, bananas, and then no flour. And I make a big kind of sheet pan of it for people that come over for breakfast up in the mountains, and then put a ton of blueberries in there. Cinnamon sometimes.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Yep.
Yeah, mine's banana bread too. I think
Yeah.
I started making it when I was
quick
8 or
bread's
so.
like, you can memorize a recipe for a quick bread. There's not that many ingredients, right? And then,
2.5 cups. 1
yeah,
teaspoon,
exactly.
1
I think
teaspoon,
it's
right.
like as you get comfortable, that's when you start adding things in and changing up the recipe. And
Exactly.
I feel like people ask a lot to bakers and cooks and things like that. Like, how did you get this perfect? And they assume that somebody's just naturally this good baker, that the first time they made it, it came out like that, or they knew how to make croissants magically because it
Wow.
was like inherent
Wow.
talent, right?
Yeah.
But they've done that 1,000 times. The
Right.
reason that it's better than what you do at home is because they've done it 1,000 times.
Right. And if you,
know?
and if you do practice enough at home, then you'll
then
have
it gets
something
there,
that you like.
right? Yeah, and
Yeah.
you tweak it until it gets, gets to the place that you want it.
And I've got the recipe now memorized, which is cool. And I can, so baking, I've always heard needs to be exact. It's a science, right?
Annie Elmore is always yelling at me, Bridget, follow the recipe.
But so that's good to know. Because I'll put in a cup of flour and then it calls for a half a cup. I'll just put about a half a cup in the cup measurement and throw it in. So I'm not super exact, and they turn out great. So
Yeah.
I guess you don't have to be exactly exact.
Well, and you know what? When I lived over in Italy, the measurements were bicchieri. They don't have anything like teaspoons and measuring cups over in Europe. Some parts they do.
They do, yeah.
Not so much. And so, like
more
when you
of a
follow,
feel?
when you get the recipes,
Yeah.
they use scales,
They
like in
weigh
Britain
them,
and
yeah.
France and stuff. But
Yeah.
in Italy, bicchieri, like, well, what size glass,
A small
for the
glass.
measurements,
You're like, okay.
I swear to God.
And was that a big learning curve for you to try to get those?
Well, I ended up
measurements?
calling my friend Kathy Connor, and this is back before you could send somebody a text. And so we had a fax machine, and I'd send her faxes that was like, help, SOS, and the next page would be, I need these recipes, but I need them in grams.
Right. And you don't get the fax until a week later, and everything's rotten.
One of the things I think that does in not being able to rely on exact measurements in that way is it forces you to know what each ingredient in what you're baking is actually doing for you.
Well, and
so
the
if you make
consistency.
something and
Yeah.
you're like, man, that did not rise as much as I expected, you need to know that your baking soda, baking powder are what are activating to, like that ratio maybe needs to be changed. And I think when you're just following a recipe out of a book, you don't have to know any of
That's
that,
a good
right?
point.
As long
You're not
as
thinking about the science in it. Yeah.
But if you know it was dry, maybe you need another egg, or you need just the yolk, or you need less flour, whatever it is.
Right.
It
Yeah.
forces you to get to know your ingredients a little bit more.
And
I
that's a
think.
great point, because I don't know a lot about baking at all. I just know read it, put it in a bowl, put it in the oven, and eat it. Hold on, I'm going to edit this out because I forgot where I was going.
Okay,
I
wait, I have
love
something to
it.
say, and that is, Sean,
Yeah.
how many of these shows have you done?
Like edited? Or, well,
Yeah,
I wanna
like
go
you're
off-
listening to this show every single time. So
Yeah.
how many recipes have you listened to?
Oh, a ton. Like
You gotta-
going all the way back to the. Well, I'm gonna.
You-
I think.
okay, yeah.
Are we gonna cut this out or? is
No,
Your
this is
call.
good
this is a real
stuff.
question. Okay. I'm pausing so myself at the studio knows to cut right here. Sorry, what was the question?
The question is, you've been listening to this show over and over again. That Sean, don't call me Del Torre,
Right.
listens to every
Do you
single
roll your eyes
segment.
every time he says that?
I've gotten used to it. But the reason he does that is because he was getting my name wrong and I corrected him. I said, it's DiTorre. And then he started doing that.
Don't call me Del Torre.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
But I've listened to so many recipes. If you go all the way back to Seattle Kitchen Radio Show,
Yeah.
And I mean, like I've said, I've learned a lot over the years, and I can't remember everything. But there's a few things that I've definitely taken to, and got good results from.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
These muffins, I doubt the muffins came from this.
From what?
From the radio show,
Oh.
like your beautiful muffins, but maybe it all soaked in from Terry and Tom and all those
Oh, yeah, I'm
tips
sure.
from all the guests.
I'm
and
sure. Yeah.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's been amazing working with you. It's been super fun.
Yeah. Well, thanks. I love hearing you guys on the radio, and it's nice to have a little change up. Tom's great, but it's nice to have some female representatives on the air.
Oh, Tom, did you hear that?
Axed.
And thanks for cleaning up our messes.
No problem.
Appreciate
No
that.
problem.
I know it's funny to see you in person because we talk to you in the mic when we're doing the show, like, oh, Sean, cut this out
Yeah, I hear it. I
as
hear
we're
it.
going.
Yeah, and so it's going to be weird. I'm going to be back at the studio today or tomorrow and edit. I'm going to listen to all this.
Don't edit too much out.
again. Okay.
Okay.
Edit out all my ums.
I try to.
Yeah, it's bad.
I don't know
It's a
what
bad
my
habit.
problem. What's her problem?
Well, your
What's my-
problem is sometimes you swear.
I know. He pointed at me. Well, and Tom pointed at me about a DEI issue.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that wasn't. Like, anyway.
I'm going to cut that out.
Yeah, what's my issue?
Becky?
Becky's
Miss
perfect.
Charming, she's perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really couldn't say.
Aw.
See,
I'm taking him out to lunch after.
she went to etiquette school at Frederick and Nelson. Did you know that?
I did not
What
know that.
is
No, I
that?
didn't.
It's a real thing.
I went to etiquette
Did you
school
go?
at
Yeah.
the Bon Marché.
Yeah, it used to
Yeah.
be Frederick and
My
Nelson.
parents couldn't afford it.
I always threatened my son. So, and that's Becky went to etiquette school.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Sean. Thank you
Yay.
for all that you do
You're
for the
welcome. Yeah,
show.
thank you.
And because you're here in person, we're going to force you to do trivia.
Yes.
with
I
us.
cannot wait. I listen to it every week. I'm not bad. We'll see.
See if you've absorbed it
Yeah.
all.
Yep.
All right. When we're back, Rub with Love,
Okay.
Food for Thought, Tasty Trivia on Hot Stove Society Radio Show.
Nice.
Bridget, you're going to get one of these for sure. You'll know what that means in a moment.
Okay. Did Jim do the questions or you?
No.
Okay.
I love Jim. We gotta hit
You know, we
him up
haven't
for some
seen
questions.
Jim in a while.
He's skiing at Whistler right now.
Oh, that's so sad. They just got a bunch of snow, about 20
That-
inches of new snow.
Oh, really?
I have a girlfriend skiing there right now, and I listened because Steven's got 18 inches.
Uh-huh.
Crystal got about 20 inches with that big storm.
It rained up at the pass.
Yeah.
It was the atmospheric river.
It's the Cascade Concrete.
Yeah.
I regretted not going the week of spring break, but it's just a mob scene up there. But you weren't back yet.
No. I got
And it
back
was
Sunday.
it was a couple of feet of new snow. Alpental would have been
Wow.
amazing up at the top.
Yeah, but crowds in Japan, no crowds.
Really?
Really?
Gondola up, tram.
So
they
you're
call it
just
ropeway.
cycling,
You're
just-
just doing laps and just.
It's like, I got to take a break.
We did do some skinning, so we did do some touring, just one day.
Oh, very fun.
It's really nice.
Did you have a backcountry guide? And they,
We had two. There were 6 of us and 2 guides, and they were awesome. So knowledgeable.
so
Really felt safe. We got in a tricky situation, and our guide just completely calmed everybody down.
tricky as in the snow started sliding on you, or treated
We
well?
were climbing up, and it just started. The visibility went away, and we were in this big windswept area, and there were some not geysers, but kind of this vents.
Steam vents, yeah.
Steam vents, and you could smell it, but you just once you can't see from me to Sean, it gets a
you
little
were
scary,
really
and you're disoriented.
Right.
And it wasn't that way for that long, but we had some.
You guys hunkered down for a
There
sec.
were tears, but there was some frustration on a couple of the guys. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little scary. The friends that sent a photo, this friend of mine, Christian, that I used to race with, he and his wife are there. They're great skiers, and they posted photos of waist-high powder
Wow.
at one of the same places you were at on
Yeah.
Hokkaido. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, that looks like so much fun. We don't get that too much here
Yeah.
in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, maybe up at the top of Crystal,
Mm-hmm.
kind of above the knees, but
Yeah, fun stuff.
pretty fun stuff.
How are the muffins, you guys? Gone.
They're gone.
Gone.
Good.
Aw.
I'm glad you like that.
Taylor, did you get one? Good. Good. Good.
Yeah, Ghirardelli makes a non-dairy. There's actually a couple brands, I think, but Ghirardelli, yeah, and they're great. They're delicious. So, yeah. There's a lot of. I can't. I'm allergic. Yeah.
That's a tough one
Yeah.
because it's in. I've got egg, and it's in everything.
Yeah, I know, and yeah, mine started like 13 years ago, so I know everything I'm missing.
Yeah.
But I've gotten used to it. There's a lot of great non-dairy products like Green
Oh my
Valley.
God,
Have you
that's
heard of Green
amazing.
Valley? They're great. It just tastes just like cream cheese, but they take out the lactose.
Who's that?
Green Valley.
Green Valley,
Oh, I have
okay.
seen
I
that.
find them at Ballard Market. They don't typically have them at a Safeway. They might, but Green Valley's great. They have sliced cheese, block cheese, and I think it's the actual cheese. Town and Country, yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, but it's the actual product, but they just take out the lactose, so it tastes like it should.
Oh, what do you do for your banana bread?
What's that?
What do you do for your banana bread to make it dairy-free?
Well, I don't do it dairy-free, but I
I
don't
mean,
make-
not dairy-free, egg-free.
egg-free. I don't make it for me anymore, but it's mostly eggs. There's no flour. It's just eggs, bananas, and then
No eggs.
No, tons of eggs, but I don't eat it, but I make it for everybody else.
But could you make one that's with yogurt instead of eggs?
Probably, but it's such an eggy dish because there's no flour in it.
Ah.
So anyway,
Have you tried that yet, Bridget? Chef Bridget?
Well, I'm flour-free,
Oh, I didn't know that.
wheat-free,
Got
and
it.
I'm walnut-free.
Okay. Wow.
Only
So that's
two things that I'm...
just pick out the blueberries and eat them.
I get the fuzzy mouth from the walnuts. I
Oh,
made
really?
myself allergic eating them in Italy.
Oh, really?
Because
Oh,
the place I worked at had a walnut grove.
Okay.
So they were used for everything as nuts.
And so when you ate so many of them, you
Oh, and they were so fresh and delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I created an allergy.
weird. Huh.
Yeah.
okay.
Cool. On that note,
All right, ready?
All right, we are back.
We're back.
A Hot Stove Society radio show. We have Loretta, Bridget, Becky, and we are joined today by Sean DiTore, who is our editor at Cairo, who makes us sound lovely
Hello.
when you
Yes,
listen
thank
to
you,
us.
Sean.
I know, it's awesome.
And because Sean is here in our studio today, we're going to force him to play the trivia that he always has to edit for us. And so Becky's going to tell us how it's done. For this, whoa,
This is
edit.
our, Rub with Love.
Trivia is brought to you by Rub with Love Spice Rubs. For our listeners traveling to Peoria to see the Mariners in spring training, be sure to stop by any of the AJ's Fine Food stores located throughout the Phoenix, Tucson area to pick up a few jars of Rub with Love. And as a reminder, if you can't find Rub with Love in your neighborhood, please visit our website, tomdouglas.com, and we will ship it right to your home. Mm-hmm. Becky, let's
Yes,
play.
Let's play. And
And because Tom's not here, we all have a fair shot this week.
that might be true. And I'm not even going to describe how to play because all of you know how this goes very
Oh,
well.
great.
5 questions each.
5
And then
questions each.
But the winner does get to pick out an audience member to go through the gift shop and get a 3-pack of Spice Blend. So everyone's a winner.
cool.
All right. Okay, Bridget, you ready?
I'm ready.
Number 1, what Japanese seasoning blend features dried seaweed, sesame seeds, and bonita flakes?
For a taki.
You got it.
Yum. I love that.
Good job. I was thinking Togarashi is
Togarashi.
Oh, I thought,
but that just has
that's a
chilies in it.
chili
Yeah,
spice.
Yeah, so good
Yeah.
job. Number 2, what legendary French chef known for his work with the French President Charles de Gaulle is also an avid beer drinker? You know him.
Jacques Pepin?
Jacques Pepin, you got it.
Wow.
Number 3,
She's going easy on me, Loretta.
Yeah, this is not looking good for me already.
what enzyme found in the stomach of milk-producing animals is used as a coagulant in cheese making?
Oh, man. Do I have to have the name of the enzyme?
Uh-huh.
Used to be on the door of that fridge.
It was?
What?
Yeah, because we used to do cheese making classes
Oh,
here. and
okay.
it got a little expensive. I do not know the name.
Sean, do you know?
No idea.
What?
It's like, I know it.
Rennet.
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 Yes.
I've heard of
That's it.
rennet.
Yeah. Okay. Number 4, we've heard Tom proudly take credit for introducing Terry Rotaro to Kentucky Fried Chicken. True or false? It was actually Sean DiTore who brought Tom and Terry together for their first KFC outing. Is that true or false?
You know, I'm so lucky because Sean mentioned it earlier. And the truth is that Sean introduced Terry.
Is that true?
Well,
Sean?
you know Tom Douglas's motto is never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
That's
So-
true.
Yes, yes. And I didn't realize, maybe you told me, Becky, but I didn't realize that question was going to be on the quiz, so you're welcome.
You're just being nice. That's great.
I'll help you out on yours, okay?
Cool.
Okay.
Wow.
Number 5, what came first, the fork or the spoon?
The spoon.
Nailed it. Yep.
The spoon.
Archaeological evidence shows that early humans crafted spoon-like utensils from materials like wood, bone, and stone long before forks became common. Good
yeah,
job.
and the vessels were carved, indentations carved in wood,
Wow.
like plates and things like that.
Oh,
It would be a board with
no extra
indentation.
credit. You got it.
Okay,
Good job.
all right.
4 out of 5. That's great. Okay. Sean,
Yes.
you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. What small, bite-sized dishes are central to Spanish social dining and often served with drinks?
Tapas.
Tapas, you got it. Number 2. What is the name of the Japanese breadcrumb known for its light, airy texture that creates an extra crispy coating on fried dishes?
Panko.
Wow.
He doesn't need help.
This is rude.
Well, he's listened to more quizzes than any of us have ever thought
true.
about.
Totally. You've got all the answers.
Are these new questions?
Yes, they are new.
Oh, good,
Oh,
good,
you're
good.
so nice.
Number 3. True or false? Rather than using a bottle opener, Jacques Pepin prefers to open his beer with a knife or a fork.
That's true.
That is true. You got it.
That was a guess.
We
Back
said
of
it
a
with
knife.
conviction. Good
Back
job.
of a chef's knife.
Number 4. What is the name of the thickening agent made from equal parts fat and flour used in sauces and soups?
Slurry? No. Wait, say that again, please.
You might put it in a stew. It's a
Yeah, totally.
thickening agent made from equal parts of fat and flour in sauces.
Oh, a roux?
Roux, you got it. Woohoo!
I make roux. I make Mornay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you, Terry.
I didn't realize I was making that stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm making Mornay.
Because it's
I'm
mac
adding
and cheese.
Cheese, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, for a perfect score, or not? Oh, you get this. What is one of your favorite culinary tips or culinary techniques you've learned from Tom and or Terry over the years?
So there's a few that I wrote down. One definitely is peeling ginger with a spoon.
Uh-huh.
Very, very helpful. You
Yep.
don't need to use a sharp object. Also, using your empty mustard jars to make like a vinaigrette.
Oh, yeah.
You've got an empty mustard container, add in some red wine vinegar, sugar, salt, pepper, maybe some lemon juice, olive oil, and I think that's about all you need. Shake it up.
Lid on and shake it up, and it picks up that excess mustard in the jar,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's great. And then
That is a good one.
another thing is if you have some type of raw meat like chicken, pork, steak, if it's getting close to the expiration date, you can cook it and it'll extend that life for a few days.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I learned that
Cooked
from
meat lasts longer than raw meat.
Okay.
Yeah,
that
so I
makes
learned
sense.
that from Tom and Terry.
Wonderful. Well, 5 out of 5, Sean. Good
I think
job.
that's called extra credit.
You don't have to
Sean.
edit. You don't have to edit this one.
No, I don't.
Because
Thank you,
really,
Sean.
you really won.
You're welcome.
There you go. Okay, Loretta, AKA Tom. All right.
Oh,
Doesn't seem
tough
like it's
Tom
gonna be good.
questions.
Okay, here. This is a tough one, but I think you'll get it. What is the main difference between Asian and Western condiments? Think miso, fish sauce, kimchi versus ketchup.
Generalities. Oh, I think I know this one.
Oh, yeah, the level of sweetness.
Fermentation.
Fermentation.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
That's
Bridget
hard.
tripped me up.
Did I? Oh,
That's hard.
Give her half a point.
Multiple choice. What quirky beverage related treat does Jacques Pepin enjoy every night, aside from his beer? A small glass of kombucha with a sliced lemon. B, 7 gin-soaked golden raisins. Or C, a shot of espresso with a twist of orange peel.
B.
It is. He has, you know this, I've read this before. 7 gin-soaked raisins. He said it helps him with his arthritis.
Arthritis, yeah.
Might have
So
tried.
random.
Power of
So-
positive thought.
There you go. He's just got a good attitude. That's
Great.
what keeps him going. Number 3. What is the name of the kitchen utensil that has a series of thin parallel wires stretched across a frame for cutting dough into strips?
A pastry cutter?
You got it. Pastry cutter it is.
Oh,
Number
Tom loves
Dough
those.
into strips. I would not.
Yeah.
Because I use it like to cut butter or something
butter
into flour.
Yeah.
right.
Would you use it that way? The
No,
pastry
not
cutter?
anymore.
No.
I'd use a mini chop.
I
Right.
wouldn't.
But
I wouldn't use
Tom-
it anyway. I wouldn't do that either. I agree with Bridget. Yeah.
You already won, Sean.
It's good for dicing butter and stuff, but you can use a box grater instead.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good tip. That's a great tip. Okay, number 4. Which vegetable is known to have the highest sugar content? It's something your dad isn't that keen on.
Beets.
Beets.
Oh.
Beets, about 8%.
We share a dislike of
You
beets.
do.
What? Oh man, I love beets.
It was
find
great
it?
because I never liked them, and because he didn't like them, it was
didn't
one
make
of
you
the
eat 'em?
few foods that he didn't make me eat.
No gruff.
Do you
But
like
your mom loves them.
Yeah.
Loretta? Do you like Beats by Dre?
Yes.
Okay.
The music guy. All right, final question. What is the difference between a Japanese donburi and a Shirashi Bowl.
Raw versus cooked.
You got
fish.
it. Yep, you got it. 4 out
Wow.
of 5. This is a high-scoring game, but Sean is the winner.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yay. That's awesome.
Thank you for coming, Sean. Thanks for playing in
You're
person.
welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
If you want to be part of the show, you can join the community on YouTube Live at Tom Douglas & Co. or buy a ticket to join us in the studio at hotstovesociety.com. You never know, you might get lucky. Tom might be sick, and you get Bridget and I together. It's perfect. The show is produced by Becky Guzak. Our technical wizard today is Nico Caballero, and our talented editor, Sean DiTore. I'm going to say it right because Tom's not here.
For once on the show.
For the one and only time on the show. If you miss any episode of our Hot Stove Society show on Cairo 97.3, you can listen via podcast. Just subscribe with your favorite podcast app.
Thanks for listening.
Have a great weekend.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
No, but leave it.
No, that's awesome.
I'm staying tuned to listen. I can't wait till it comes out on Friday.
Okay, quiet on the set, please. Hi, I'm Loretta Douglas.
And I'm Chef Bridget Charters.
We are filling in for Tom today. Today on the Hot Stove Society show, we talk with Brad Benson from Stoop Brewing. Scott Corey and Sasha Tinsley join us from Parasol West in Normandy Park. Sean, edit that out. Todd Alkema from Elliott Bay Distributing is here to talk wine, and our talented editor from Cairo Radio, Sean DiTore, is in the hot seat.
Sean, don't call me Del Torre.
Don't do it.
All right.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thanks for coming.
So those are 15. Those are supposed to be 15 seconds, right? Those promos.
15, yes.
Do you? Because sometimes Tom will go longer. What do you do with that?
Sometimes I'll just cut out one of the things he says.
Okay.
That I just make that judgment call.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll try to leave the end part so it sounds natural, like,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
so it doesn't sound like he's cut short.
Because I know when I put 4, he likes 4, but it's kind of too much. So 3 is probably ideal.
I would say 3, yeah, and he could, and I speed it up too sometimes. I'll
Oh, wow.
condense it, but just enough so
speed
you
up the
can't.
voices?
Yeah, so you can't tell.
Uh-huh.
So I can work around it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, and then-
But definitely 15 to 20 I can work with. When it gets to 30, that's when I'm cutting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get a photo.
Oh yeah.
I want in this one. Yeah.